Yo, 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 DPS podcast. That's Damage Per Second podcast, episode 268. We are back on is it Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. And I'm so tired, I don't know what day it is.
It is Thursday.
We're back on a fine Thursday night, feeling all right. I am one of your hosts. I call myself, this is how tired I am. I'm calling myself Forte. I'm one of your hosts, Gaming Forte. There you go. Introducing the other host, SloMoBackSlap. What's up, SloMo? How you doing?
Sleepy.
Oh, yeah, man. You sound far away. Are you far away from your mic?
Oh, I was, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know whether you had a different source
Nah.
that was coming through in that.
Nope, I'm here.
But no, we hanging in there, man. It's been a trying day for myself. I know you said you had a long day of work, but we've been gone for 2 weeks instead of one, so there's a little bit more to catch up on. Forte, what you been doing for the past 2 weeks?
What have I been doing? I finished Octopath Traveler 0.
Oh, okay.
I finished
I
that.
thought you already finished that.
No, I was going back and forth. I went back and played. I was playing Octopath Traveler 2 for a while,
okay.
and I finally finished 0. And then what else did I play? Well, of course, Call of Duty with you like a week ago, or almost a week and a half ago.
We played Call of Duty?
Yeah, remember?
No,
remember,
man, my brain is fried.
Yeah, I told you, I promised them I'll jump on to play Call of Duty with you.
And you said, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
You was like, where are you, Forte? And I was like, and then you was like, Call of Duty's like, you said you were gonna be ready at 7:00. It's 9:00. Where are you at?
Wait. I don't remember that.
I do. I remember.
I remember saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, there's nothing wrong with it, SloMo. I mean, you know, you make it seem like there's something wrong with it.
No, I just don't. I literally don't remember anything past I don't know, like today.
This is bad.
Yeah, it's look, we're gonna have a great show. Okay, I'm gonna figure it out.
We always have those, but I'm kind of concerned. Like, why is SloMo sounding like? Is he like SloMo tired?
Man, let me explain why I'm so tired for everyone. So I've literally, like, all this home renovation stuff is going on. We're renovating an entire bathroom. We're renovating my old office, so I can put everything back into my office like I originally had it. So I got 2 different contracts. I was trying to stagger them. Have one contractor. Both of them said they'd be done in a week. Both of them have not been done in a week. Or it looked like there won't be done in a week. But one of them was supposed to be working and be done last week. The other one was supposed to be, starting and be done this week. Neither are done yet. So maybe the one that's doing the bathroom will be done tomorrow. The other one probably this weekend. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I'm tired of going to Home Depot and Lowe's. I think they're also probably tired of seeing me in there buying things and asking questions that they don't feel like answering because, they don't feel like being bothered, but it's what it is.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, there's that. Last week, I had half my team at work on vacation, so I basically spent a lot of time covering people on their projects, and that was not fun at all. In addition to doing all the work I had to do for myself, and so it's just it's been going on, man. What outside of playing Call of Duty with me? Matter of fact, how did you enjoy Call of Duty, Forte? How was that for you?
That was terrible.
Why was it terrible? Explain.
Huh?
Expound upon that. Why was it terrible?
Do you like my anguish and pain? I think I do.
I just think that we would all like to know how you feel about the game. That's all.
It's stupid. It's the reason that it's the worst. It's the reason it's the worst Call of Duty performance-wise in a long time.
I mean, what about it is terrible?
Huh?
Because all you're doing is multiplayer.
It's not fun.
It's not fun.
It's not. I don't know how you do it all the time.
I'm having fun.
Huh?
Yeah.
My fun is is playing with you. Pause. That's my fun.
Well, look, I have fun regardless.
Yeah, you do.
I
I mean, it takes a special person to want to prestige master that game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I did hit Prestige Master. I'm at like level 90 now. It goes up to 1,000. I'm probably never going to hit 1,000, but I'm enjoying. I just enjoy laughing at people.
Oh,
Like some of the
whoa, I know that.
conversations that you'll listen to. Like it was a dude like last not 2 nights ago because I didn't play last night. I was too tired. 2 nights ago, I'm playing pretty late because I had to take care of some things for work, and I just didn't feel like rolling into bed. So I said, you know what? Let me run a few matches of Call of Duty, which always ends up being a couple of hours. So I'm playing, and this other guy is clearly cheating in the lobby. It's clear, you know how like you get placed in the lobby that's already a lobby, like you're
Mhm.
filling in. And apparently they had to fill a lot of people in because there's this one dude in the lobby that was just blatantly cheating, and everyone's cussing this dude out like you're garbage, you're a loser, no one loves you, kind of stuff. And
Nobody loves you.
he's just like, I don't see what the big deal is. You guys saying I'm cheating? You guys saying I'm cheating? You know, I was just using the war machine. You know, it shoots out three rounds at a time. I don't see what the problem. I'm like, oh, okay. I already knew what was going to happen in the lobby. Now
Right.
I got mine. You know, I went off, but the whole time. And I just knew every time there's a cheater, they're never on my team. Ever. They're
Never.
always on the other team. And I'm always had to deal with the cheater every single time. So I knew he was going to be on the other team. And this this guy, just obvious cheating. He's not good. He's just relying on whatever cheats giving him aim assist. He was using aim assist. He had wall hacks. He just knew where everyone was, but he was still
He
like
had the whole suite.
he had the whole suite, the whole kit and caboodle, right?
Mm,
Match is over, and this dude is like cussing him out. So it was funny, yeah, like the way he was going in on him. And the cheater just kept saying, "Hey man, subscribe to my YouTube channel." That's literally like he just kept repeating it like he was a AI or a bot or something. Just subscribe to my YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube. Come on, man, subscribe to my YouTube. And I'm just laughing at this point because it's just funny. Like some of the characters, it's just you can't. I like multiplayer. I like playing multiplayer games because you just can't beat the chaos that ensues. Um, and it's never the same thing twice. You know, it's never exactly what you dealt with before. So yeah,
right.
I'm I've been playing that. Like I said, I'm like level 90 on Prestige Master, and like the goal for me personally, a little personal goal, I want to be over a 2.0 KD when it's all said
Okay.
and done. Doing that legit because I'm not a cheater, it just feels like a personal accomplishment for me.
Doing
So
that because you're not a cheater.
yeah, because doing that, dealing with cheaters all the time is not fun. That part's not fun. But you know, playing with you, playing with Taz, playing with Game Logic, that's fun. You know, playing with other people,
It is
having fun,
fun.
having a good time. I'm also been playing what you're seeing in the jumbotron right now, which is Crimson Desert. This boss fight I had with Aunt Umbra's sword, one of the harder bosses of the game. Took me a while to figure out how to beat this guy. Actually, took a couple of hours because I was just getting cooked by this dude over and over and over again. But um, I Crimson Desert's a very interesting game because it's like there are aspects of it that are fantastic, that are amazing, that they were able to accomplish certain things like the scale of the world, how big the world is, and yet
Mhm.
how alive it is and how beautiful it looks. But then there are things that are just hair pulling ridiculously bad. And I know some people don't like the boss fights. I think I don't have a problem with the boss fights. Some people think they're imbalanced. Um this boss I fought, like I ran into him one time before, And basically, if he hit me the first time I ran into him, if he hit me one time, I was dead. So I said, you know what? I don't need to be here right now. Let me go somewhere else and I'll get better and then I'll come back. And when I felt I was comfortable, I could take him on, is when I came back, beat him, whatever. Now, recently this week, I ran to this other guy. What was his name? I don't know. This dude's up in the mountains. There's a lot of ice around.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a massive sword, pause. And that guy kills me in 2 hits. So I said, okay, I'm gonna come back, put a pin in this. I'm gonna see
Put a
you
pin.
again. Like maybe like 20 hours from now, I'll see you again. I'm in chapter 8 of this game. And I have how many hours this is? This is 128 hours. And I'm only in chapter 8. And I know there's at least 11 chapters in the game. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to get lost in. And I'm typically not the kind of person that plays games where you're like you're it's a big sandbox and you're just exploring. I typically like, give me a tighter narrative. I would much rather play that than play make your own fun kind of game. But
Mm-hmm.
this one, what this one does differently than other games is, I think, is very unique in this. And this is one of the aspects of it that makes the game amazing, is that this game will have loot just lying around. Like I found a sword in the skeleton of a giant's mouth,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like far, far, far up north in the mountains. And you know how, like, if you play the Division or Destiny or any kind of looter shooter, Borderlands, and you may like play the same content over and over again, the same strikes over and over and over again, hit the same bosses, the same missions, trying to get like that perfect drop, and that'll take hours, or maybe even days to finally get that done. What Crimson Desert kind of does that's different is that you get stuff that's just, you can just pick it up. Some OP level kind of stuff that you can just pick up and use it. Put it on.
Right.
There's no you need to be a certain level. None of that crap. Just put it on and you're using it. But getting to it is the challenge. Cause I'll go, and I'll look up a YouTube video or something. I see someone's YouTube video, and shout out to the guys who have the energy to do this. I do not. But like they'll put together a YouTube video. Here's how to get this entire armor set, this dope looking armor set. And you'll look at the video, and typically a lot of the pieces are all in the same area. But then you'll be like, oh, okay, where the starting area is literally all the way on this side, the west side of the map, and all these armor pieces are all the way on the right side. Here's another example. There's a fan. You can get like a literal fan that you would like fan yourself when it's hot. But this fan shoots out tornadoes. Right. And it literally would be spinning enemies up in the air and throwing them all over the place. It's amazing. But the fan is all the way in to the east. And what you have to do to get there, you're going to be going through enemy territories, hostile battalions, hostile outposts, hostile castles. People be chasing you. You get attacked by monsters. You'll get attacked by a pack of wolves. All kinds of stuff will happen. And you got stamina you gotta worry about. You're literally trekking all the way across the map to get this stuff. And sometimes they'll put things in places where you gotta like if you ever see a waterfall and typically you need to go behind it, there's something back there, that kind of thing. Like they have this stuff littered all over the place. And of course, killing bosses will get you some really OP stuff. I fought a boss named Tristan that was running like what were they called? I forgot their name. It was some group of mercenaries, and I just rolled up in their castle and just started murdering them. I mean, they were just chilling, having a good time, and I just literally like leaped over the castle walls and just started coming and just absolutely destroying everybody that was there. And then this dude Tristan pops up and he's just like, I don't really appreciate you killing my boys. And he proceeded to, kind of kick my head in for a few times. So I figured him out. But like, that's the fun of the game. I think this is going to be one of those games. It's not going to win any awards because when you're like in like the mid 70s,
Mm-hmm.
as a Metacritic score, you're not winning. Well, I mean, it might win something like, I don't know, not multiplayer. It might get nominated for a few things, but winning, I don't think it's winning anything. But it's got too many issues with story and with like game design to make it really like do anything beyond be kind of like this kind of cult following that it's going to eventually just have. And I do think it's a game that will continue to get iterated on and improved upon. So like it'll be like 2 years from now, people gonna be like, "Yo, Crimson Desert's freaking amazing!" Like it's got all kinds of stuff that they never had at launch. But as of now, it's just kind of just a decent action adventure game.
Mm-hmm.
As I was looking for loot, this is what the part where I said like bad game design. The chest I was looking for turned out to be under a floor. And you gotta go. So you kind of go under this floor, and you're crawling under this floor in this sanctum. And then they put traps in there, and there's these traps where these spikes pop up from out of the floor. And the problem with them putting those spike traps in this very enclosed space is that they're indestructible. So if they ever pop out, they don't retract, and you can't break them. Now, when they first introduce them in the game and you first encounter them, it's in like a village or a town or so on someone's like farm. So it's like a big open area. It's easy for you to kind of jump around it or walk around it or dodge away from it before it cuts you up. When you're in an
Right.
enclosed space, there's nothing you can do. And so literally I started looking online to see if anyone else has dealt with the situation because I got the armor piece I wanted, but I can't get out of the area because they got these spikes that came out as I dodged away from them, and now they're blocking me. And so I just literally looked online, and everyone was just saying, "This is stupid. Why they do this? This idiotic choice of these spikes here." And essentially, the only way to get around it is to save your game on the spot and then load your save again. Because they never they don't have their game saves aren't literally like you're saved right where you're at. It's it'll put you at a checkpoint near wherever you saved. So that was a way that people got out of that that trap essentially. But it's just like it feels to me like some of the areas, like the world is so big that they had like one developer working on like some of this content. And no one is checking after each other, just like, that don't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why'd you put this here? Like, that's gonna be like they can't get out. You should change that. Have a different kind of trap. Maybe because there's other traps that are in certain areas, castles and caves and stuff. You ain't have to do this specific one.
No, right.
Story elements are weird. Like they'll do this is okay. Here now I'm about to really complain. So you got your main character is Cliff, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so typically when you have a character where that character ain't got no personality whatsoever. You know how we talk bad about Aloy? Aloy is Miss Congeniality compared to Cliff. Like she's got all she is the talk of the town. She's the big girl on campus
She's the bee's
compared
knees.
she's the bee's knees compared to Cliff. Because Cliff ain't got zero personality. Some of the side quests where people would be like talking to Cliff, "Hey Cliff, could you some bandits down the road, took my carriage, took my crops, beat up my wife, spit on my kids. Could you go handle him? And Cliff won't say anything. And they'll be like, thanks, Cliff. You're awesome. And I'm just like, he didn't say anything. Where did he say he was going to do it? And you just go handle it, and they'll be like, thanks. You're awesome, Greymane. And it's just like, he never said a single word. The dude barely talks. There are these like parts of these little they're part of the main narrative where you're like trying to gather your old crew back together, and you'll run into them, and sometimes it's just one dude who apparently, while you've been out saving the world, he's just been drunk at a tavern this entire time, and he's just chilling. Or a group of them out decide to be farmers instead of being warriors again, and they see Cliff, right? And they're like, Cliff, oh my God, you're still alive? And they'll run and hug him. What are we doing? What you doing? Are we getting the band back together? Where's the camp? I'm going to the camp. Forte, I have seen this scenario played out with different dialogue 30 times.
That's wild.
It's the same thing every time. I'm like, bro, I'm sick and tired of this whole conversation. Yes, I know you didn't know I was alive. Yes, I know you've been out here doing your own thing. Yes, I know you're going to go back to the camp and help us out now. Can something be different? Can one of them be like, you know what? I don't want to go back to the camp. I'm done. I'm retired. I don't care that they killed all of our friends. I'm just going to chill. Can one of them do that? Can one of them have a personality? It's crazy. And for Cliff himself to have no personality, but like, you don't have a character creator. You know, typically when games have like a main character who has no agency, to, you know, you named the guy, you didn't allow us to change his face, he looks like Tom Cruise, and then you got a voice actor doing all the work, and typically when you do that, you got a lot of lines, a lot of personality layers to this character, and that's why you made that choice. I have no idea why they made this choice, because the dude is such a nobody that you could literally should have just had a character creator and let you be a woman, let you be a man, let you be a freaking ogre or a goblin, since they got goblins in the game. Anything else besides this just random Tom Cruise lookalike dude who don't talk half the time.
Does he really look like Tom Cruise?
He looks like Tom Cruise.
That's funny.
You know, look up The Last Samurai. Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai. The hair, literally the same hair, the same structure of face. I think maybe Tom Cruise maybe had a beard in that or something, a fake beard.
I think he did have a fake beard in it.
Yeah. I don't think he really grows facial hair like that, but like, but yeah, I mean, like he looks just like Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai. So the whole thing is just like I said, I'm enjoying it, but it's got major flaws, and I understand why those flaws exist. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I did buy this other game called Morbid Metal. It's a roguelite. It's a kind of like an indie game. It's only on Steam right now, and it was cheap. It was on sale for $13. I didn't get a chance to play it because today's been insane, but I will, play it soon and kind of like get my impressions on it. But I did play the demo and some months ago, and the demo was fire. So I'm kind of excited to get into it, to play it. Something a little different. Even though I still haven't beat Hades 2, I need to beat that. Hey, but Hades 2 is kicking my butt, man. Yo.
What are you playing it on? PC?
PC, yeah. So yeah, it's
playing it on Switch 2.
Switch 2. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be on Game Pass next week or something like that. Maybe it's there now. I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, Hades 2 is fire. It's better than the first game. I can say that for certain. It's definitely better than even the first game's amazing. But yeah, I there's a particular boss that I can't beat, and I just needed to take a break because it was before I broke one of my 15 controllers. So anywho,
don't break your controllers.
Yeah. I'll just buy another one, but like,
oh my god, I'll just buy another one.
Yeah. So look, you ready to get into these rapid fires?
Absolutely,
my good sir.
Oh really?
So Forte, some time back, you remember we were talking about something interesting about Call of Duty and
Mm,
how people were sick and tired of seeing like the dumbest skins in Call of Duty
mm-hmm.
and not making any sense. Beavis and Butthead in the
Yep.
game, the Ninja Turtles, I didn't really mind them. Bob's Burger, Homer
Osborne.
Simpson, just the dumbest, the dumbest, absolute dumbest uh stuff in the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they said, hey, look, we ain't doing that no more. We're going to do skins. It's going to have to make sense to, kind of like war, a war kind of theme to it. Which, we discussed, hey, look, the Master Chief, he deals with war all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Phoenix, war is in the name of the game. Gears of War. Why don't you have them in there? Yeah, now, have they done any of those? No.
Nope.
But the skins that have been in this game, they are the worst skin. They all look the same. It's like just it's generic stuff in there. The only thing they had that has been somewhat interesting for Black Ops 7 is their collab they did with Fallout, the Fallout TV show. And so the Ghoul and Lucy and Maximus are in the game. And they look hideous, but at least they put them in there. And those are the only ones. No one else. Now I think they realized with the dwindling microtransactions from these trash skins that they needed to kind of go back to the old ways but I don't mind this one. Freaking Dave Chappelle from Half Baked is going to be in Call of Duty Black Ops 7 for 420. And I'm
Gotcha,
just
B.
like, yeah, I'm buying that.
I
It's
know
him.
you are.
What was the name of the rapper that he
Oh,
played in that? What's the name of the
oh, Half
rapper?
Baked. I can't remember. That movie is so
I
funny,
just
bro.
I just remember the song. What was it like? Um, damn. Like, he's like, I need to call the Samson, fly me to the moon, like that. Like, you remember that? You remember that song?
Yeah.
Like, it was like a song. Like, dude was a rapper, and that Dave Chappelle's other character was selling weed to. Can't remember the guy's name. It was the dumbest name, but like that guy is in there. I'm buying both of them. Like, I'm literally buying Dave Chappelle's character, and I'm buying the rapper too. I'm buying both of them just because I think it's hilarious. But they went back on
That's
their word,
funny.
and I think at this point in time, this is what my question is to you. Can because Battlefield 6 tried to also say, hey, look, them skins are stupid.
They
Over here
did.
on Battlefield, we ain't gonna have no stupid skins like that, like Call of Duty. And people was like, yeah, no stupid skins. And then ain't nobody buying.
Didn't nobody buy it. Right.
So, I mean, do you have to? Do you have no choice to use goofy collaborations to sell stuff? What do you think, man?
That's a good point. That's a really good point, actually. No. I mean, I think people just buy skins that they like. It doesn't have to be a goofy one. I mean, I get it because they're probably getting a good amount of marketing dollars from those IPs in order to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So Turtles, and usually it's always based around something that's coming out. Like I know when Bob's Burger and they did that, it was around the new season get ready to come out.
Mm,
Same thing, I think with the Turtles. It was I forget it was coming it was like when it was coming out with the game and stuff. So they released the Turtles and stuff around that. So it's usually always around some type of event that they're doing it for that, is cross promoting with it, which
mm-hmm.
is fine. The funny thing is have you seen like what Xbox IP have you seen in Call of Duty yet?
The only one was Fallout, and
Was
I think
Fallout.
but that was only because of the TV show. If the
Yeah,
TV show
exactly.
didn't exist, it would not have happened.
It would not have happened. Which is crazy that they have. I mean, I could see a Spartan running around in there, but they haven't done it. Same thing with like, I mean, even if they want to do a cog, like they didn't want to do Marcus Phoenix or someone like that, they could have did a cog. They could have did what was the cog's name that always what was his name?
The one that always dies?
Yeah, what's his name? Carmine.
Carbine.
Yeah, Carmine. Like they could have did Carmine. Dude, I would love to have Dude, I play with Carmine in a multiplayer all the time.
Exactly.
Like I love Carmine. Carmine was awesome. But they could do something like that. But I just think in general, people just buy what looks nice. Like remember when I want to say, dang, it's so many Black Ops ago.
Part of the other reason why I'm getting the Dave Chappelle stuff is that like if you play Call of Duty, it's not just the skins. It's like they got the voices, they got the one-liners. Dave Chappelle is going to be hilarious in that. He's going to say it. That's going to be one of the lines.
Dog, it has to be when he gets you from the back. Pause. It has to say
big pause. Exactly. That's the main reason why I'm doing, because I know I'm going to be laughing the entire match. I just know like this. It is that is the perfect collaboration for 420. Just perfect. So. The thing is that it's just like smart promotions. Like we said, you own the IP, you own Halo, you own Gears, you own all this stuff. Like you should have some kind of cross collaboration every time you drop a freaking game. I mean, even with Fable, like have some guy wearing some medieval clothes up in there or something. I don't care. Call of Duty, even though this is the slowest selling Call of Duty to come out in like this decade, it still was number 5 in games sold last year with half a month to work with. That's still like other publishers and devs would kill for those numbers. So you still got a ton of people playing the game. Go ahead and introduce these people to some of your other content. Like it's a freaking no-brainer. Like people who look at Halo as the old dad shooter. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't look at it as what we view Halo as. But maybe you put the Master Chief in there. Maybe you put the crew from Halo Reach. Maybe Blue Team in there.
Blue
like
Team.
You get Kelly in there or something. You get Sergeant Johnson. You
hold me, baby.
Yeah, like you could get the Arbiter in there. Like do something to really show off.
Will Keith David be playing the voice though? That's the question.
I think he's probably willing.
Play the voice.
They pay him good.
Yeah, they got. I mean, yeah, you can't have the Arbiter and not have Keith David's voice. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, but I just like they got so much.
If they had Halo and they had Master Chief at the beginning of a match, like when it's in the when the countdown is happening before a match and he says, "I need a weapon."
Right, that would be perfect.
It would be. It would be great.
These are no-brainer decisions. But it just seems like they just fall on deaf ears.
Well, it's just like the King Kong skin. Dude, I love that kid. As soon as I saw the finisher, I was like, "What?" Just threw this dude like 10.
You literally throw the guy into the sky and he's just gone. Like I
was like, "Whoa!"
Flying. As soon as the first time I saw that, I was like, "Yeah,
I have to buy this. I'm buying this." It was so. As soon as they showed it on X or Twitter, I saw it. I was like, "Yep, that's a buy." But that's the thing, though. It is like you said with the turtle ones. I only bought Donatello because I love Donatello. But shout out to Ramon Terrell being here. But that's the thing though. You only buy the ones that you're like super, really, really jiving with. Like
Yeah.
you bought Rick Grimes because it looked really good.
It look it
You
looked
bought
actually looked like Rick Grimes.
it
Yeah.
looked like
Yeah.
Rick Grimes, and you bought Paul Atreides because it looked like Paul Atreides.
Yeah.
Remember, I bought Lilith from
From Diablo 4.
Diablo 4. And I was like,
Yeah.
yo, this looks good. But so I don't think there's anything wrong with going out and like kind of placating and going above and beyond when it comes to stuff like that. But it just has to be good. I mean, the stuff that they have been doing for like the last two games has just kind of been like mad. Like I'm looking at these skins like no one cares about any of this.
Yeah.
But
And look, there have been some skins that I have bought that look dope. Like this is one skin for this character where she's got like a hood on and her but and like normal fatigues and a mask, and they all seem to have that in this year for some odd reason. But hers
mhm,
can like it's slowly like it's got this technology in the fabric that slowly changes it from like green fatigues to gray to black and stuff like that. I thought that looked dope because it's
yeah,
always moving, it's always changing, and I got that character because that was cool. I did
yeah.
get Black Sail this season because there were a couple of skins in the Black Sail. I
They
thought
they
that looked
they
pretty
they
good.
got you, huh?
Yeah, yeah. So I think they are again like the whole topic is that the fact they've gone back on things, but I feel like they needed to. Like it
Right.
just like don't do the kind of Beavis and Butthead thing again because one they made them look just like the way they do in the cartoon, which is a completely different art style than the game, and it's just like it just looks really bad in the game. And someone's playing in Warzone and they run up on Beavis and they shoot him down, and it's just like his cartoon body it sticks out like a sore thumb, and
Mhm.
the our environment with a much higher visual fidelity. It doesn't make any sense. So
Right.
Ramon, what are your thoughts on Call of Duty? Well, first of all, I don't know if you heard or not. They're putting Dave Chappelle from Half Baked, like the version of him from Half Baked into Call of
Gotcha.
Duty for 420. What are your thoughts on that?
What's up, fellas? Well, that sounds hilarious. I didn't
It
know about
is.
it until I heard you guys talking about it. That sounds absolutely hilarious. And this is an example of understanding the assignment. Beavis and Butthead fit for Fortnite. Dave Chappelle, a
Right.
cartoon Dave Chappelle with one liners like "I'm rich," you know what I mean? Like he
Yeah,
shoots you
yeah.
and he says that I'm rich. You know what line that he does? Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That is understanding the assignment, and it's why I shake my head at Call of Duty because like you have the right idea, but you have to pick the right characters. And like you were already saying, you own Master Chief and Doom Guy.
Oh
Those
yeah,
are the
Doom
people you
Guy.
put.
I
Yeah,
forgot all
you put
about Doom
them.
Guy.
Stuff's a no-brainer. You
Yeah,
BJ Blazkowicz or
BJ
whatever his name
Blazkowicz.
from Wolfenstein. Like, come on.
they own all of that. Own it.
I
They don't
would
have to
I would
pay
be
you.
spending hundreds of dollars on these skins in that game the same way I would. And I may actually go back and play Warzone, which I never play, simply because whatever you buy from each like individual Call of Duty, it stays with you with Warzone. Kind of the way your skins always stay with you with Fortnite. So it's just like it's free. It's they got so much IP that works with this. It's just odd that they don't know how to
I know,
cultivate it. My
crazy,
bad. Go ahead, man.
crazy.
No, no, definitely. But no, I mean, you already said it. Like it's just to me, it's just weird. Like I don't know if there's some sort of barrier to it, in-house barrier. Like, okay, remember when everybody was remember when everybody was talking about how someone like this one woman was playing on a PS Vita in The Last of Us 2 when Ellie sneaks up and gets the drop on her. And
Mhm.
then when PlayStation rep was talking about it, they were saying that they actually couldn't just do that. They actually had to go through legal or something like that to get the approval. So the only thing I can think of is maybe there's some sort of thing that I don't know. I can't make sense of it because they would be able to do it because it's all in house. So I can't really
Yeah,
make sense of it. But
because you look at PlayStation with Astrobot, and then Astrobot's like a celebration of PlayStation, and especially the second one. The second one has
Nathan
versions
Drake,
of
God
like
of
they got
War.
Nathan Drake, Kratos,
Yeah,
literally all their IP except for stuff that they don't own, like Final Fantasy. They wanted Cloud in there, but Square said no. But like everything that they owned was in there,
Square.
and sure, I'm sure that like getting all your T's crossed, all your I's dotted on the legal front should be is going to take precedent over making sure that you get it done. But like, bro, you own it. You own both properties. You own the game and you own the IP that you're trying to get it in there. Like
I
the
can't
amount of
make sense
money
of
that you
it.
would make by doing it supersedes whatever the billing hours are for your lawyers to make sure it's right. Like just you're gonna make stupid money off of this. How about you work on it and actually get it done? It's just yeah.
Yeah, I
And
can't.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I actually have tried to think of a reason why they haven't done it. Like, well, maybe it takes time, but does it really take time? Because it's a skin and some voice recording. If they decide to do voice recordings, but in Call of Duty, I'm imagining it's just skins. So like, I can't think of a single scenario that prevents them from this layup. So
I remember saying
yeah.
that about Square for the longest until they finally gave me Final Fantasy VII. I was like, dang, how long do we have to take to get a layup here? This game will print
Square
money whenever y'all do it.
And I
Square Enix is
remember,
annoying.
one of their directors years ago before they announced the FF7 remake saying, "You guys really want us to remake that?" And it was just
Yes.
like,
What?
"What?
Yeah.
Like you don't
Shitting?
know that?
I'm
Like you
just,
do,
I'm
Haha,
just
that's
just."
like 20 years old.
I'm just like, do they just have these devs chained? Probably true. Chained to desk, and they never see the outside world or talk to actual gamers about anything to know
Brothers,
what they want. Because it's just, it's
that
wild.
was one of the few, that was like a game on a short list of all games of all time that I was like, if they ever reprinted
Yeah.
and made this game would print money. I feel like we were saying that 10 years, 15 years ago. But
People went
it,
crazy. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
no, you're good. Go ahead.
people went crazy when they did that PS3 demo of Cloud jumping off the train and drawing his
Yep.
sword. And
Mm-hmm.
and then like it took a whole generation before they finally did it. And it's like even if you didn't know, that reaction from the PS3 demo should have told you everything you needed to know.
Right.
Right. Craziness. But not gonna
Uh,
complain about it. We're still waiting for part 3 to come.
yeah,
I need
I
to go
think we
back to
might
part
get,
two.
I think we might get an announcement for part 3 this year at some point, with it coming out next year. I think that would make sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Because like at this point, you built the entire world. They already said they're not going to Unreal Engine 5. So they're still going to have it on Unreal Engine 4. There's this
Mm-hmm.
in the a lot of that is about speed and about making sure that like you don't get slowed down by trying to adjust the new tools or new development pipelines that UE5 has that UE4 doesn't. And if you continue on with Unreal Engine for your next game, you may go with 5, but as of now, you're just gonna kind of stick with what you know so that you can get the last part out. And I think that yeah, it should be pretty quick, especially consider where they're at, where they ended off at Rebirth. Um,
Yeah.
it's not saying it's easy or anything, or that there's not much left to do. I'm not saying that, but it's definitely not going to be how much they had to build out with like Midgar for the first game, the entire world with the second game, like all that assets, all that stuff is already there. So, um, yeah,
I need to give part two another shot. I didn't finish it.
I need to
Last
finish part 2 on PC. I beat it on PlayStation. Haven't beat it on PC yet, and I got all the crazy mods and everything going.
I
So
don't know.
yeah.
I don't know if it was a combination of the fact that I did Crisis Core and then Part One back to back, and then went straight to Rebirth,
Oh yeah,
combined
you
with
probably
the
burned out.
Oh yeah, you
dude.
definitely burned
What did
out.
it for me though? What did it for me? It started with the Chocobo side missions to get Chocobo. That was annoying. And then when I got to the thing where Cloud had to ride the dolphin, and then like shortly after riding the dolphin thing, I was like, I've had it. Like maybe it was my mood, I don't know, but that annoyed me
Yeah,
so much.
some of the side content and the not puzzles, but like games and mini games that you have to do. But the one thing about Rebirth though was, and I'll say this real quick and we can move on to the next topic. That I think it's either chapter 10, I think it is. It's either somewhere between chapter 9 and 11. I think it's chapter 10, where you play as Kate Sith. Everyone who's beaten this game knows exactly what I'm talking about. That that chapter is so infuriating. I almost quit the game. I was so close to quitting the game because I'm just like I literally cannot stand this. This is terrible, and it's just it is what it is, man. Like hopefully they work it out. But you guys ready for the next one?
Absolutely.
All right.
Do it.
So Nvidia, like I know some people are pulling out their pitchforks right now. Calm down. I'm not talking about DLSS 5. But Nvidia is in the news again over things that they actually spoke about at GDC. So it was a few weeks ago, but they were showing off neural texture compression. And the reason why this is important is that what neural texture compression is doing is that it's literally cutting the VRAM usage of your GPUs to a very very small amount, and will allow developers to either for newer games pack a lot more content into the game, make things more dense, more objects, that kind of thing. Or when it comes to games that are already out, they may not get bottlenecked by GPUs that say only have like 8 gigs of VRAM. Not saying 8 gigs of VRAM is what it needs to be, like, or should even be around anymore. It shouldn't, but this kind of technology is going to make it easier for people who are on older hardware to be able to play these games and without feeling the need to upgrade. Um, Image quality is close to the original. It's not quite there. It's not like DLSS where that is when it comes to compared to native rendering with native resolutions, but clearly once it's ready for prime time, that's when they'll release it out there. But Ramon, what are your thoughts on this technology, this neural texture compression? What do you think about it?
It's exciting, man. I mean, given how notoriously stingy Nvidia is with VRAM to begin with, this is like it's really exciting. I mean, the idea that they can pack, like you said, like you already said, they can pack more information and use less VRAM, or you know, a combination of all the options, like cards with lower VRAM being able to run these games for longer. I mean, we're on 44,000 series cards, and they're creeping up on 6,000 soon. So I mean, hypothetically speaking, if they go into 6 and we don't upgrade to 6, then we're still able to run games that normally by now might need 18 gigs of VRAM, and we only have 16. You know what I mean? So it gives you some more longevity with the hardware that you have before you upgrade. So, and it just makes it more efficient. So I'm pretty excited to see, where they go with this. And I'm also excited to see how much China's about to be breathing down their neck too. And I wonder if that's why they're really start trying to get good with this, because China's
Yeah,
catching up.
yeah. Yeah. Although I mean, Nvidia is a Chinese company, so
They are.
they're on the level. But I do see your point where
They need a
Nvidia has
real
enjoyed.
competitor.
They exactly. They need a real competitor, and sometimes you see things from Intel that goes, oh, okay, that's pretty good, or you'll see indie developers come up with their own frame generation. Like I forgot the guy's name, but the guy who created Lossless. Damn it, I lost. It's Lossless something. I forgot what it. Anyway, you can buy it on Steam for like less than $10, but it is a third party independent frame generation tool that I don't know if it applies to every game that you play, but it works outside. It doesn't use any true input from the game, and it works outside of it. So I do think you can use it on literally everything, but it's not as accurate as like DLSS or it and that kind of like I'll have ghosting and things like that. But if you're on older hardware and you don't have the full feature suite of things that Nvidia is doing with the newest hardware, this is a way that can kind of help you kind of bridge that gap a little bit, I think. Forte, what are your thoughts on it?
Abolished. Like, like, what are we doing? So, so I guess I want to ask you this. So what do you think the biggest problem that people are going to have with this, in your opinion?
It's going to be typically what always happens when it first comes out. It's going to have some issues that over time will get fixed or improved upon. Neural texture compression 2.0 is going to be better than 1.0 clearly, but like people aren't going to listen to that. They're going to look at whatever negatives there are of it. Let's say its image quality still isn't perfect, even though it's compressing things, or maybe it causes animation stutter. Maybe there are other unforeseen issues that typically weren't a problem before neural texture compression, but are a problem now with that enabled. People are going to do what they normally do, where when neural texture compression is on 3.0 and 4.0, people are still going to be using the narratives that were created about it at 1.0 that are no longer relevant. We see that with DLSS. We see it with frame generation. With DLSS, people say, oh, it doesn't look good as native. It actually does. At least with DLSS, it does. With upscaling, a lot of them have at least a decent image. But DLSS quality on transformer mode is in a lot of cases looks better than native resolution with temporal anti-aliasing. You say that, and people act like you just came out and said you like to eat human beings or something. Like they act like you've lost your mind because they hate anything that is using AI to do anything. In this case, this is something that AI it can be really, really useful for, and well, I don't. It's kind of hard to describe how neural texture compression works, but it's. I looked at all the paperwork of it, and I just can't. I'm sorry, I'm just too tired to really like fully explain it. But
no, yeah.
This is a good thing, and as it grows, it gets better. It's going to be a huge boon to just gaming overall, and you're going to see AMD follow suit with their own kind of thing, Intel as well, until like all these kind of techniques become more widely adopted. But people will just continue to act like it's generation one, and that's all it's ever going to be. Frame generation, like people say, oh, like the latency's horrible with frame gen. That's how it was when it first came out.
Right.
It's not like that now. You can turn frame gen on and play games now. Like sure, there's some certain things you shouldn't do. If your frame rate's already really, really low, you shouldn't turn on frame gen, because that would be a case of like you're gonna get a ton of latency and it's not gonna look great. But
Gotta have a good
If you're
baseline
already,
first.
yeah, if you're already over
Exactly.
60 and you want triple digits, yeah, go ahead and turn on frame gen. Maybe you'll get that, and that's, yeah.
Well, it's just like
I
PSSR as well.
Well, people treat it as a
mhm.
magic pill. They think it's a like, oh man, this turn this on is gonna be great. So what's the starting point? And that's like you said, that's gonna kind of be the conversation around a lot of people. They're always gonna nitpick things, but I always try to tell people, I was like, the reason I don't really nitpick people about things like that is because if you choose to partake and be in that guinea pig test pilot program, is what I call it. You're on the bleeding edge. You expect to have, bumps and bruises along the way. You expect stuff not to work exactly the way. Now you'll probably be a little frustrated with how a lot of the stuff isn't working or functioning, but you kind of signed up for that.
Mhm.
So it is also about just growing and maturing with the platform. Perfect example with Windows 11. I've been on Windows 11 since it was available for you to go over to it. So the aches and bruises of it over the course of 5 or 6 years of using it, I didn't have though. I mean, by now I'm good compared to SloMo being forced to upgrade to it last year. He's experiencing everything that I experienced 5 years ago.
And I
Quote
So
hate it.
unquote upgrade. Quote unquote.
Yeah, I feel
yeah,
like a downgrade. It feel like I got forced to
yeah.
downgrade, but
You got
it is
forced
what
to
it
downgrade.
is.
But that's the thing though. Like I was already there. So I already knew what to expect. I already knew. So when he started complaining about things, I said, yeah, I remember that. It was a long time ago, but I remember that. But that's another thing. It's frustrating because stuff like that's been plaguing an ecosystem for years still happens even to new people coming in, and you're like, what are you doing? So I think that's kind of the frustration side of it, but I just feel like in general, I always want to see things move forward. Frame gen has definitely been one of those things that's definitely did more in helping people, especially on lower spec hardware, be able to meet the expectations of what these games can do now. But then I also like the fact that if you have the gear, you can over index and it ends up being something that benefits you even more. And you can kind of see what it looks like with it and what it looks like without it. Because there is a difference. If you got the
Mhm.
raw horsepower, you can see the difference between having it on and off. And then if you got a really high floor, when you turn it on, it really doesn't impact your gameplay. It just kind of makes everything more smoother. But I will always tell people go with the native side of it unless you absolutely have it. And I think with the way that where components and everything in the world are now, you're going to depend. And it's kind of like this perfect storm because the hardware that you need to like kind of just really go after it costs so much money. Most people aren't going to be able to do that. So they're going to be depending on hardware. Well, these different, AI instances to actually get you to where you want to get to have, really good, enjoyable gaming experiences. That's why I think it's going to be really, really covenant on the developers and publishers of these games to basically really lean into that, because I think the next Xbox, we already heard rumors of that. We heard about rumors about the next PlayStation and how they're leaning into that. It's just going to make it a little bit more easier for people, and some people think it's like laziness, and I say I don't think it's laziness. I just think games cost a lot, and in order to meet a budgetary restraint, this is what we need to do. And on top of that, it helps us get these games out the door faster so we can bring more games to you. So it's all this big round, this big circle that you're going in. But I think it's a beneficial thing. I just think a lot of people are just, like you said, going to be nitpicking a lot of the different things that they like and that they don't like about it compared to, everything else that they always talk about when new things come around.
Yep. Anything else you guys want to say about this before we move on?
Nope.
Oh, really?
Good thing.
Oh, really? So this is actually an interesting topic because I remember talking about this when it was first revealed way back in like 2020, 2021. But recently, State of Decay 3 has a closed alpha coming out. I signed up for it. I enjoy State of Decay. Can't wait to play the third one. Um, since that alpha was announced and a lot of people started talking about the game State of Decay, how we haven't seen 3, we're barely seeing anything from it since it was first revealed. And some interesting information came out about the trailer that you see on the Jumbotron right now. So this trailer was the announcement trailer of the game, and it's made by Blur Studios. It's not made by Undead Labs, the developer of State of Decay. And some information came out from the director of the game of State of Decay 3, who said that at the time where this trailer was shown, no one was really working on the game. The game only really existed in a Word document. And a lot of the team were surprised to see that like they had a zombie deer in the trailer. And they were just like, wait, we got zombie deer? When did we discuss this? Like this is, and of course that ends up not actually being in the actual game. So I'll go real quick before one of you guys go. Back in the day, I'm gonna go back to Scumcast days. Like I remember seeing this, and we said this on DPS as well back then. But I said, look, this is why I don't like teaser trailers. This is why I don't like how a lot of these trailers are developed, because they give a wrong impression. They do a disservice to a developer who then has to try to meet the visual fidelity or the certain aspects of gameplay that they showed in this fake trailer. But it also does a disservice to the actual gamer who may get excited for certain things and say, oh, wow, that seems like a dope idea. I can't wait to play that, only to find out years later aspects of what they saw were never intended to be in the game in the first place. So why is it there? Like, why do you have these kind of things? And if you recall back the E3 June showcase, whatever you want to call it, where they showed this trailer, they showed a lot of games in that showcase that either ended up getting canceled and we never saw anything about them, from like Everwild and Contraband. They showed the Initiative. I think they may have showed Perfect Dark from the Initiative or something like that. Like that little teaser trailer with the drone flying through the building. Again, another game we never got a chance to play. And this is just, and I'm not going to say this is only like Microsoft's thing, because clearly it's not. We have a number of publishers that do these things. They all kind of do it to a degree. And I never like it. If I'm of the mind, if you're going to do an announcement of a game, just give me a graphic. Just give me a JPEG. Throw a JPEG on the screen. You got nothing? Cool. Show it. Throw a JPEG on the screen saying State of Decay 3 coming soon. Cool, bet. Finally. Thank you. All right. I know that's coming. Don't show me anything unless you got something to actually show me. And I mean that to the degree that, hey, I don't care if you don't show me anything until like up to a year before it's about to come out. Because at least I know what's in there in the game at that point is something that's solid. Like that's definitely going to make it into the game. Maybe sometimes some stuff may get cut. But for the most part, if you show it, the closer you show it from launch of the game, the more likely people get a better idea of what it's supposed to be. Forte, what do you think about that? About State of Decay 3 and all that stuff?
Yeah, I just want to see how far they're going to go with it, because I feel like State of Decay has the opportunity of being it. It has a chance of being one of those games that could really stand out due to the fact of like multiplayer, factions, survival, not just going against the zombie horde, but going against other people and stuff. There's a lot of things they could do inside of State of Decay, and I feel like that game has such a good foundation, especially when it came to like the first and the second one, when it comes to like the crafting, the build, and all that other stuff. But if they just take it a little bit further, it looks like they were kind of going in that direction. I just think in general, for the most part, I just want to see them do more with it. But I didn't like the way the game looked. I was like, this looks plain. Like, it looks so plain.
I think it was a AA title.
Yeah.
That their community manager didn't know what they were stepping into when they said AAA all the way.
Mm-hmm.
I bet that community manager, who's not like actually working on games, had no idea what AAA meant. But that ended up becoming like a part of the game because someone officially with Undead Labs said this is going to be a AAA game, and then you see it and you get disappointed. Like no one really was disappointed in the visuals of State of Decay 1 because that was an indie studio at the time with almost no backing. Basically, it was like 12 dudes in the garage somewhere. They made that game. Visually didn't look that great, but expectations are managed.
Right.
With State of Decay 2, those expectations went all the way through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And they also did very similar. If you remember the reveal trailer.
Oh, I was going to just mention it.
Yeah,
that reveal trailer.
Driving like in a Pontiac Grand Am, and he's like drifting through a gas station, knocking zombies over. The game looks nothing like that. You can't do things like that. Like I'm tired of seeing developers use CG trailers to represent a game that looks nothing like what they showed in the trailer. You clearly want more people to play your game than they did before. But if you do things like that, you're setting yourself up for failure because they're going to see what your game really looks like, and they feel like you pulled the rug on them. You should have hit them with the okie doke. You tried to scam them or something, and it's just you don't have to do these things. And I think this is mostly a marketing executive kind of thing. That they do that. Devs aren't really trying to misrepresent what they're doing in their games, but they don't have any control.
Right.
So it is what it is. Ramon, what are your thoughts on this?
Man,
help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hear my only hope.
Yeah, that's what the devs are saying. Because I mean, marketing has like probably most. I don't know. I can't say every, but most studios have had this happen. I mean, the infamous Watch Dogs trailer that we don't even have to go into. Like, I mean, everybody got catfished from that, right down to even small things. Like, I remember, it sticks in my head, the trailer for God of War 3. Awesome game. But there was one little thing where they showed Kratos running up on that barbarian on his horse, and Kratos jumped and ran along the wall for a few steps, and then jumped off the wall and slashed at the barbarian. So, you know, a lot of us that were watching that were like, whoa, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, he can do that now? And, you know, you couldn't do that. The game was still phenomenal, but it misrepresented what you would be able to do in the game. And these CGI trailers, I mean, SloMo, I'm exactly the same. Like, CGI trailers literally do nothing for me other than if it's something that a game that I'm wanting, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm excited that it's coming. But other than that, you could literally just like flash the title logo, title screen on it, and it would have the same effect for me than the CGI trailer because it means nothing. All it is just announcing the game exists. But other than that, it either at best case scenario, it means nothing. At worst case scenario, it misrepresents the game.
Right. Anything? We got one more rapid fire I'm gonna get into.
Let's go.
Anything else you guys want to say on that before we move on?
Nope, let's do it.
Keep it rolling. What?
Okay.
You never look this right here.
Oh wow. We really going back. CDPR has released an update for Cyberpunk 2077 on the PlayStation 5 Pro. The update is out now. Came out yesterday. It's using PSSR 2.0, which is PlayStation's proprietary upscaling technology to add ray trace lighting, shadows, and reflections to varying degrees. And in all three modes, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. It's not like max ray tracing, like some people are trying to say. Look, I need
What
y'all to
y'all
consider the
doing, bro?
sources with somebody. If you are a console only gamer, do not tell me, yeah, this is just like on PC. How do you know? You've never seen it on PC. You do not. You know, like you get. I know you watched the Digital Foundry video. I know you heard them
Compressed,
say the
compressed
reflections
video.
are only on the cars. I know you heard that. Stop the cap, right? Anyway, it's got 3 modes. And one of the modes is Ray Tracing Pro mode, which enables all of the features in the ray tracing suite, as I said, to varying degrees. So, but
Very
it's like
degree.
reflections, ray trace ambient occlusion, shadows and skylight, emissive lighting. And they are with VRR enabled. If you have a VRR display, that's coming in at 40 frames per second or 30 frames per second on VRR devices. Couldn't be me, but
Couldn't be
I'm sure
me.
there's a lot of console, guys who spent $750 to $900 on the PS5 Pro. They're going to enjoy that 30 FPS. Moving on, ray tracing mode, which will have a kind of like a sweet spot between performance and ray tracing. Ray tracing Pro mode adds select ray tracing enhancements, and it can targeting 60 FPS. Not in Dogtown though, but I'll get to that later. And performance mode, which I think is probably the most impressive mode. And if I had a PS5 Pro, this would be the mode I'd be playing it on, because it's basically taking 1080p starting image. Oh, no, actually, maybe I think they said it was 1440p starting image, and upscaling it, up-resing it with PSSR 2.0 to a dynamic 4K, but it sticks to on average like 90 frames per second, which is freaking awesome on a console. That's amazing. 90 frames per second.
Let's go.
For the most part, you should definitely, if you're playing on a display that does like 120 frames, it's 120 hertz display. Like that needs to be the mode you're playing it on. Sure, it's got no ray tracing in it, but this is a pretty game without ray tracing. So if you turn that mode on, I'm telling you, you would probably play around with the ray tracing modes and take a couple screenshots and go on Twitter and cap like, you got it the way PC guys do. But then when you're playing the game, go ahead and turn on performance mode and enjoy that frame rate, because 90 FPS for this kind of world and this kind of visual fidelity is freaking amazing. Now, all the modes have drops in frames while in Dogtown. Dogtown is a section of Night City and Cyberpunk that's from the DLC, the expansion Phantom Liberty. A lot of us on PC already know Dogtown. When you're in Dogtown, it runs significantly heavier than it does in the rest of Night City, and that's because Dogtown is so dense with so much stuff going on, so many NPCs. So it's really really difficult to run, and so you typically see on PC a drop in frame rate when you go to Dogtown. So it was no surprise to me that all 3 modes were not able to keep to like their target or usual frame rates while there. Still not, I would say, unplayable unless you're in that ray tracing pro mode, because it's targeting 30 and some of those drops are in the 20s. You don't want that. Nobody wants that. So I would just say, don't play in that mode, especially if you're going to go into Dogtown. But I would say pretty impressive update. And CDPR giving people what they asked for on a game that's 6 years old, nearly 6 years old at this point. I saw a lot of people for years saying, "Hey, PS5 Pro's coming out. You gonna do a Cyberpunk update for it?" Then when it came out and they still didn't do an update, almost every time a CDPR would have a tweet about something Cyberpunk related, you'll see somebody in the comments saying, "Hey, can we get a PS5 Pro update?" And so it's cool to see them still, working on this game, even though they're not directly working on it. They have a support studio that does that work now, but still doing things in the game that they weren't doing before. And if anyone wants to know, this gameplay on the Jumbotron is on PC, so that's why it doesn't look blurry. that was wrong. My bad.
God dang.
God.
Ramon, how you feel about this PS5 Pro Cyberpunk update?
Okay, so there was one thing that you were saying that I couldn't quite understand.
Okay.
30
Yeah. I know you can't understand 30 FPS. Like that, it's a
Yeah,
foreign
I'm not
concept for
sure.
you.
I'm
So
I
not
don't
sure
know
what
what
that
that
is, so I'll
is.
just go
okay,
past that.
I'll just try to explain it real quickly. Frame
Oh,
rate
okay, okay.
so low that you feel as if you're moving in slow motion.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen
So,
that. I've seen that before.
I saw
yeah.
that in 2014. It's been a long time since I've seen that.
The last time I saw 30 frames was when I was playing Horizon Forbidden West, and I was like, I want to see what fidelity mode looks like. Dude, it looked like it looked like it was like, how can I describe it? It looked fuzzy and it looked like it was slow motion. And
It
I'm like,
was slow motion.
this is how I've been playing all these years? Like, because
Bro.
it was crazy. So, but anyway, getting back to the point, I think it's awesome. Um, kudos to CD Projekt Red, because the thing is people spend this money on this hardware and they should be able to get their money's worth. You know what I mean? People
Exactly.
went the extra, they spent this extra money to get this hardware so that they could enjoy these things and have more options. And, I wish more studios would do that, because you're giving your customer their money's worth and they won't forget it and they will be there for your next game. When Witcher 4 comes out, which, I mean, realistic expectations here. PS5 Pro is awesome, but realistic expectations. But when Witcher 4 comes out,
You won't be playing on
those
no
people.
console.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, all three of us are in the couldn't be me category, but I mean, still, like, I mean, all those people who are enjoying Cyberpunk on the Pro will show up and have an interest in Witcher 4, and they'll appreciate that, they went this extra mile. So I think it's a great thing, and hopefully more studios can and will do that, because it's a lot of goodwill, especially being a free update like that too. That's a lot of goodwill. It's just a win-win.
Yeah, and they've needed that. I think
They
they
did.
are.
They
I
really
think
did.
this game is one of those like comeback success stories that
Yeah.
people love to see. Because there were rough times for the developer and investors and literally everyone that was excited for this game, and they took a massive hit on their reputation with how Cyberpunk launched. But you rarely hear people even mention that anymore because of the massive W's that they just keep getting with the anime, that they got another one coming out. Edge Runners was fantastic. That got people hyped. Phantom Liberty's one people consider one of the best expansions, the DLC in any game ever. Like that's some high praise, especially considering how there's a lot of other really good DLCs that are out there. And when you keep stacking W's like this, yeah, like it's kind of like a feel good thing. Like you're really kind of cultivating an audience that are going to be really hyped for your next projects when you're still pushing updates on a game that's over 5 years old. Most developers, especially when they already know that like they're probably not going to get the same kind of sales they were getting before with this update, to go do that for free and you put man hours on that, that's just a level of dedication you just don't see anymore.
Oh
Um,
yeah, and I got
for,
a contrasting scenario for that. It's called Forza Horizon 5. I am furious with Xbox. Furious because they have left that game to die, and it has issues now that it didn't have at launch. and didn't have for all the years that it's been out, and now it has all these issues, and they trying to sell people Forza Horizon 6. I mean, I know it's going to do well, but like that went from an automatic day one to I'm not even sure if I'm going to buy it anytime soon, if at all, because is this going to happen again? So, you know, I appreciate studios
you
like
really
CD
were.
Projekt.
Yeah, you really were enjoying that game. I'm more of a casual, super casual, like racer fan. Like I typically play Forza Horizon for a couple of weeks and then never play it again. That's just usually how, or unless I just want to just ride around in the world for a little while and waste time while I'm doing something else. I kind of don't play it anymore, but like it's disappointing when you get a ton of people playing the game and then after a while you stop really supporting it and fixing some of the really annoying issues that crop up because you know
It's
the weird
frustrating.
thing is frustrating. The weird thing is that Cyberpunk is a single player game, but Forza isn't. So you would think that you would want to try to fix things that cause problems in the long run, considering you need to be online to even play the game. It's just it is what it is. It's very disappointing. Um,
Yeah, so kudos to CD Projekt Red for being the opposite of the Forza team.
yep. Forte, your thoughts on PS5 Pro getting a big
Well,
update?
first of all, y'all giving CD Projekt Red a way too much freaking credit. This is the damage control ever since they messed around and screwed up years ago.
True,
Um,
true.
They listen. I give them praise for sticking with it, but listen, they still on borrowed time. Just because you fixed the game 2 years later, and it came out with a really good DLC and helped make a really cool anime that's on Netflix. I listen. I got to see. I'm still looking at Witcher 4 side eye. I gotta wait to see on that one. But no. But I agree with y'all 100%. It you know it's always good to see things like this happen. I remember telling people back in 2017, 2018, when when Xbox One X came out, I said, man, I can't wait for you guys. I remember saying it on Skullcat, I can't wait for y'all to experience 60 frames per second. And I was like, wait a minute, it never happened. It's like we got a taste of it, a little taste of it, and then it was poof, it was gone, and everything was 30 frames per second again. But
You know what? I remember when I built my first gaming PC. It had been about 2018, I think.
mhm,
And I remember playing Destiny 2 for the first time on PC. And I
mhm.
was just like, my jaw was hitting the floor. Like
Bro,
max settings, and I'm getting
Max,
triple digit frame rates. And it looked way better than it looked on
bro.
console.
Let me,
And I was just like,
bro,
what have
bro,
I been doing this whole
bro.
time? And
Let,
Bruh,
then
we
and
all
then
have one of those stories. Oh my god.
like back then they didn't have crossplay. So
nope.
Luca and Forte was all they be playing Destiny on Xbox. And I said, all right, I'm gonna join you guys. And I remember
Did you feel sick to your stomach
I'm playing the game and I'm just like, it's taking me forever.
ever to load it?
I'm like, I'm in orbit for like 5 hours.
Oh,
Then you get in the
bro,
game and it's
bro.
30 FPS, but they didn't have the 60 FPS update then.
They
It's
didn't
30
have it yet,
FPS. I was like, nah, I
bro.
remember telling you guys. It just it as the words came in my mind, they came out my mouth. I said I can't do this no more.
Slomo, let me tell
I
you,
can't do
Slomo,
this no more.
Slomo, no BS, bro. As soon as crossplay happened, I was sitting there because remember I was doing both. So I was playing predominantly on PC on Destiny 2, and the crossplay hadn't happened yet. And I was like, well, I'm about to go over here and play on PC. And I started playing. I was like, oh my God, this is a whole nother world. Man, it then slow. Then I remember Luca and Taz called. It's like, hey, we need help with this dungeon, or hey, we need help with this raid. And I was like, okay. And I swear to God, like it took 2 to 3 hours for me to feel like I was like, anytime
your
I
eyes
moved,
adjust to
anytime
the
I
blurry
moved my
slowness.
gun,
Yeah.
every time I moved my gun, I felt like I was walking in quicksand. I was like, yo, why does this feel so it like everything felt like I was moving at half speed. And then I was like, I can't do this anymore. You just feel nauseous. It's terrible. And then after like 2 or 3 hours of playing with them, it gets better. You kind of like acclimate yourself back to it. But I said the same thing. So I was like, what have we been doing? And as soon as they got the 60 frame update, bro, I was like, this is better. But I'm already playing at 120 plus FPS. So it's like, this ain't really doing me no good. But then they added the field of, and then remember there was no field of view slider back then either.
Yeah.
So you was playing at that.
It wasn't
You
even
was playing
90.
at. You was
It
playing
wasn't
at
even
70.
90.
It was
It was
70.
Yeah, 70. Like
70 field of view, bro. I was like, what are I was dude, as soon as I got the PC, I
like
was playing at
a first-person
105.
shooter and your view is a microscope. Like,
I
it's
was
just
playing
like,
at
what are we doing, man?
105 on that game, bro, and they had me playing at
A
70.
microscope.
Like, what are we doing? But no,
Yo, I just finished a marathon, a God of War marathon. All seven, all six of the console games before the Norse saga. And when I tell you, from the remastered PSP and PS Vita, and then all of the PS3 ones, my eyes were watering every
bro,
single game.
it's like, what are we doing to ourselves here?
Well, number
Yeah,
one, it was 720p for most of
this
that
is
journey.
the snobbish PC gamer podcast. I know there are people who are listening to this going, listen to these guys. How dare they?
Well, that's
But
because they ain't
rolling their eyes.
experienced it. Because guess
I
what? They
know,
would
I
they would
know.
be the same exact way if they experienced it.
Yo, that's facts. To all the console players out there, nobody's trashing the consoles, but of the three of us here, I'm the newest to PC, and I'm telling y'all, man, I'm not trying to sell you, but I'm telling you, if you ever do go that route, it's gonna be like I can't even describe it, dude. It's almost like you've been in a mine breathing the air there, and then you go outside to the surface and you breathe that fresh air, and you're like, oh my God.
It's
Like I've
not
been breathing
contaminated out
oxygen all this
here.
time,
Yeah.
but it's a different kind of oxygen. Like it's just man, anybody who says the difference, it's not that big a difference. 9 times out of 10, they lying.
I don't know what the
Yeah,
hell they talking about.
I'll tell them like this: for you guys that have a PS5 Pro and you don't have a PC, you're probably rolling your eyes. You probably rolled your eyes 20 times listening to this conversation. I'm telling you this right now: get Cyberpunk if you don't own it already. Play it on your PS5 Pro. Test out all 3 modes. I am promising you that when you get to playing this game, you're gonna play in performance mode at 90 FPS.
Yeah.
Mostly 90 FPS. Because that higher frame rate,
Matters.
you're going to understand the difference between that and the 60 FPS. That's in the kind of balance, the little bit of ray tracing mode. That 30 FPS with all the ray tracing turned on. You're
That
going
stuff
to
off.
turn that on and you're going to take some screenshots and you're going to
Mhm.
try to do a mission or two. May even do, get a little bit further. And then you're going to be like, okay, let's try performance. And you're not going back.
Facts.
You're just
I
not.
agree.
Because look, when ray tracing first got introduced, when the RTX 2000 series was out, and the hardware wasn't capable of running ray tracing, like only one that was halfway decent at running ray tracing a little bit was the 2080 Ti, which was the most powerful GPU out in the world at that time. But like the PC gamers have been there. You know, sure it was 2019, but the PC gamers were there. When you turn the ray tracing on, you didn't have like you did have DLSS 1.0, but that just made it look blurrier, and and your frame rates were abysmal. They were below 30 FPS. It's unplayable, completely unplayable. They turned it off. Enjoy the game without it. And people still to this day, even though it's got path tracing, psycho ray tracing, got all these bells and whistles every time Nvidia or AMD sneeze with a new update. Cyberpunk was right there showing it off like a tech demo. There are people to this day who still just play with no ray tracing on, max frame rate, and with the hardware now running it like well over 200 FPS. Like
I like
once
my
you start to really get into like enjoying high frame rates with low latency, you're not going back. That's way better than some shiny reflections, man, and some
Right.
great lighting.
I struggle
gonna
with
see-
myself. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say this. You're gonna see next generation. I don't know if path tracing is going to be a thing for consoles next generation, but ray tracing definitely is. And and some of the things we talked about earlier about neural texture compression and the advancements in PSSR 2, what Mark Cerny says it's going to be capable of doing with ray tracing on, what Helix, the Xbox, next generation device is supposed to be doing with ray tracing. You're going to see ray tracing become more of a standard because, frankly, it's easier to implement than to doing it manually in all the man hours. It's just easier to implement ray tracing, and it's going to be far more prevalent, especially now with like AI and kind of taking a lot of jobs and whatnot. They're going to be looking at ways to be more efficient in getting games out and having hardware that can easily implement ray tracing. Sure, not for every game because some games are not going to need it, but that's going to be a much bigger option at higher frame rates with newer hardware than they are now. So you're going to get there. It's going to take some time. My bad, Ramon. You were trying to say something.
I was gonna say I still struggle with myself right now with Crimson Desert because part of me wants to crank it to 4K DLSS quality and get that 70, 80, 90 frames versus playing with it 1440p performance and hitting 120, sometimes 130 frames per second. Because that smoothness is addicting.
Yeah, I'm playing that 1440p as well because I'm averaging but you're doing performance. I'm doing 1440p DLSS quality. And I'm basically playing it like anywhere between like 100 and 115 frames per second. And
I might crank up to that and give it a try.
yeah, it's just the game looks good. 1440p is a good nice sweet spot resolution, and the performance you like, especially with a game where, I mean, to be frank, the controls aren't the best. And Crimson does it a little awkward. You don't want to be, especially if you're fighting a boss where you need timing needs to be pretty on point. You don't want to play with something that's got lower frame rates and frame timing is all over the place. It's just not.
Yeah, not for that. Yeah.
Not for that. Yeah.
Oh, and to clarify, we're talking about with ray reconstruction on, not with standard ray tracing. This is the more demanding ray tracing.
Yeah, because ray reconstruction uses it denoises some of the issues with ray tracing and trying to get the hardware to understand what the image is supposed to look like. Sometimes it'll do some guessing, can't accurately get some accurate image stability, and then you start that noise you see is it typically when it comes to lighting and stuff like that or shadows, it can't figure out which pixel it needs to be, and so it goes back and forth, and then that's where you kind of see a like noise, almost like static in the image, and denoisers ray reconstruction figures that kind of stuff out. It figures it out so that like it becomes a more accurate image. And I think Nvidia first introduced that with the DLSS 3.0. I think, yeah, 3.0. So it's now come to AMD FSR. They got their own reconstruction. I think Intel may have their own as well. But you know, as technology spreads, and more things become adopted, you know, same results, just different path to get there. Then you know you're going to see things visually look better while also trying to maintain that performance as well. So, yeah.
Yep.
You guys ready to get into the main topic?
Let's go.
Alrighty. So, Xbox has come out and made an announcement about the Xbox Showcase in June Showcase, and also the Gears of War E-Day Direct that will be immediately after that. And so it looks like we're gonna, you know, they're gonna go forward with this showcase. What are some things now? And Forte, I'll start with you. What do you expect to see from the showcase, and then also what do you expect to see from Gears of War E-Day?
A PlayStation logo at the end of it is what I expect.
Oh man,
That's what I expect. I don't expect anything else because well, that's what they're going to do. I already know what they're going to do.
They are.
I already know. That's the only thing I expect at that show, because everything else is up in the air.
Hey,
yeah, go ahead.
I missed 2 topics. I'm so tired.
You missed 2. How you miss 2? How you missed 2 whole topics?
2, not 1, 2 topics.
You just skipped. Did you say? Did somebody say what happened to the other topics? So all right, rewind.
We're gonna rapid fire these real fast.
Okay.
Halo Studios has been accused by a former Halo developer of 17 years, Glenn Israel, of numerous unlawful acts. He accuses the studio of blacklisting, fraud, rampant favoritism, multiple harassment campaigns to provoke unwanted employees to leave. What are our thoughts about that? Forte, you probably play as much Halo as I have. What are your thoughts about Halo Studios getting called out for their tomfoolery once again?
What's new? Okay, what's new? But I have something different to say about this, though. I always want to, and I'm not saying that this didn't happen, because this is Halo Studios, formerly known as 343. All of that stuff, all the stuff that's happened there, everything that's been, you know, documented has come out, and Jason Schreier has definitely came out and basically had articles that talked about all of this stuff. But I also look at the victim side of it, and I'm sitting there like, man, it's like we just believe just because you're not there, it's so easy to like basically just say what your experiences were of something and kind of throw a little bit of salt on it. It was a little bit more of this and a little bit more of that, because it's not like anybody's going to come out and kind of refute it, because it's like their name is already in the mud. And half of the people that were there aren't there. Monty Ross isn't there anymore. All these other people aren't there anymore. Now, when it comes to like a lot of the articles and stuff about like Jason Statham being pushed out the door, you know, being asked to leave and all that other stuff, I can see all that stuff being a thing. But honestly, when it comes to like everything else, this seems normal. So if this all did happen and everything this person is saying is 100% on board, it's just another failure on leadership and management, not just at, you know, at Halo Studios, but just at Microsoft Studios in general, because a lot of this stuff, you know, retaliation, people, that's a real thing. Like, people literally are scared to like, it's all of that, because it's like, you know the people that you could talk to, but then you also know the people you need to like, you know, steer clear of. We all know those people at our jobs and stuff. It's like, even though it may not be a hostile work environment where we work at, but we know, like, I don't need to be on that person's radar, so I'm not even going to even do anything to even piss that dude off because I don't know what they're going to do. And it's just, that's kind of the work dynamic when it comes to stuff like that. But it's also a completely different thing when it's like in a creative system where it's not just about what you bring to the table, but how you work as a team. And to know that there's favoritism going around, some people, you know, the good old boys, like we heard that multiple times about 343, the good old boys. And guess what? Guess where else I heard that from? Bungie. And guess where a lot of these 343 people came from?
Bungie.
A lot of them came from Bungie. So the good old boys grew, kind of went over there too. So it doesn't really change my opinion about everything that's been going on with that company. I've been very, very, very vocal about the things about 343 and just the mismanagement and everything that happened at that company. So this is nothing new. It's just a simple fact that, can we just move on at a certain point? And I don't know what they need to do that. Leadership is completely different there, but people are still talking about their experiences, which they should, because, you know, it's a safe place to do that. And I also feel like this isn't going to be the end of it, because now that Phil Spencer's not there, now that, you know, Sarah Bond's not there, you know, the people that probably I won't say they kept a lid on a lot of stuff. It's just that they feel like it's a new leadership team. So now everything is on board. It's like I can say whatever I want to say, and I can, you know, get inquiries in about all of these different things that may or may not have happened at these studios to get kind of some investigations going on, which is good and bad, because the only bad thing about it is the fact that it just keeps bringing black eyes up consistently over and over again. But the good thing from it is, if all this stuff is happening, now you're going to have more, you know, weary eyes looking at it all the time. So that's kind of where I look at it. But for me, it's just more of the same, because this is what it's always been at 343, even when it came down to contractors talking about their time there and not enjoying it and all this other stuff, and how it was not easy to work at the studio and everything. So this is just a consistency thing at this point. So you kind of got to take it at face value for what it is.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Ramon, what are your thoughts about another Halo Studios internal brouhaha?
Maybe Bonobo can help him out.
Oh,
love it.
I love it
love
too.
it.
I forgot about Bonobo.
I didn't
Yeah, I ain't
forget.
gonna never forget about that.
Well, I mean, I just wasn't thinking about it, but I was like, dang, that was
I
them.
got
I'll never forget the lies they tried to tell, and they
Man,
really
yeah,
thought we
exactly.
were stupid. They really
No,
thought
no,
we
we-
were dumb.
yeah,
Some
it
of us
was
don't
like-
work in software, don't work in IT, and know what happens if you have an unnamed, untitled asset in a game. It's not going to, come on now. It's not going to just resolve to the name of the program. Like, come on. Let's be for real here. Like, some of us know what we're doing. That's nonsense. But you know, to that situation, you know, you got that on Juneteenth, they're doing something to celebrate Black Americans and what they went through, and how we Black Americans had to wait for freedom. And instead of celebrating that, what ended up happening is we had to deal with the items that were given to gamers for free for logging in on Juneteenth being named Bonobo, which is a kind of ape. And their response was just abysmal. And like if you remember back then, Forte, I said, I'm not, you know, we were playing Halo Infinite heavy.
Yeah, we played real heavy, and we kind of stopped.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not playing. I uninstalled the game. I'm not playing this game again until Bonnie Ross, the studio head, is gone. I forgot the guy's first name. His last name was O'Donnell, who had been going around saying
Chris O'Donnell.
saying all kinds of slurs and prejudiced comments on it was either Reset Era or NeoGAF, one of those message boards he was doing that on. And for them to admit that, like, hey, look, somebody did something unforgivable, absolutely
Duh.
unacceptable, and they no longer work here. They didn't have to say their name. They just had to say they dealt with the situation and the person, and I would have been fine. But instead, they tried to make excuses for that person. And so when you have that kind of environment, I'm not surprised by any of the things that we are seeing Glenn Israel say. We I'll say it like this.
You don't get the benefit of the doubt on that.
True, but also a lot of the leadership is gone now, and there's new leadership in place. Pierre Heinz, who turned around Master Chief Collection, is now the studio head. But I always say this to people, that the world's not black and white.
Right.
In every situation where people are at odds, there isn't always a good guy. There isn't always a bad guy, obvious bad guy, It isn't always like that. Sometimes you're dealing with two bad guys, and one's just not as bad as the other. Because we had this mindset that, Pierre is going to turn around Halo Studios, and maybe he will. We don't know that for certain, right? They haven't released another game yet since he took over and they renamed themselves Halo Studios. The first one will be Halo Campaign Evolved, which is just a remake of the first game. But still, we have to give them an opportunity to succeed. But it just seems like there were no great people here.
Right.
When I say, and I'm not saying they're bad at their job, bad developers. I mean people. When you out here blacklisting your former employees, that's vindictive and petty. When you're out here creating harassment campaigns to get employees that you don't like but who are in good standing to quit, that's sad. Like, why do you have this kind of leadership in place where people feel comfortable doing these kind of things instead of, I don't know, making games, which you're freaking here to do? Fraud, rampant favoritism. Like, this is it's a lot of stuff that, a lot of us who work in the office environment have seen multiple times before. So it's not unique here. But that doesn't change the fact that when someone blows the whistle on it and it gets called out, it needs to be addressed. Because the reason why Glenn Israel is saying that, I think he wrote what he had to say about it on LinkedIn. The reason why you say something like that on LinkedIn is because you're trying to warn other potential developers to avoid a toxic work environment. It's not they're just trying to make Xbox look bad. No, Xbox does a good job of making themselves look bad. No one needs to help them.
They don't need no help with that.
This ain't about console warring. It's about basic decency. When you get up in the morning, or if you're like myself, who just goes downstairs to the basement to my work desk, or if you get in your car and you're traveling to work, whatever you're doing, I'm not trying to say, hey, look, everyone has to every single day be on the same mindset. I'm just here to do a great job, kind of thing. I mean, the company don't care about you, so you shouldn't care about the company, in my opinion. But you should care about your own work ethic and your own work performance to make sure you're always doing the very best that you can. That's it. You would love to have everybody who shows up to work of the same mindset, on the same page, feel the same passion for the work or doing a good job that you have. But unfortunately, the reality is that there's a ton of people out there who somehow always end up in leadership positions who don't deserve it, who treat people poorly, abuse of power, taking advantage of their position in regards to their subordinates, whether it is through bullying them or sexually harassing them. Like, we see this stuff all the time. And when we see it, it needs to be called out immediately, and something needs to happen to make sure that it no longer happens anymore. And is that some pie in the sky, wishful thinking kind of stuff? Sure. You can say that.
Mm-hmm.
But what you can't say is that it's not right. So
That's true.
did both of you go on this topic?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I
All right.
did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last thing before we get into the main showcase again, and again, my bad. Xbox Achievements is finally getting an update. They've added rare achievement animations, themed color matching, the ability to hide some games you may not want people to know that you're playing. You're dating sims. Like, I don't think they got hentai games on the Xbox store, but hey, look, if they got them, if you want to play them, you can play them to your heart's content and not have to worry about your buddies going, hey, I saw you playing that balloon titty simulator. I saw you. Like, you
No,
ain't
they
gotta
won't.
worry
They
about
won't even
that.
do that. They won't even do that. They'll just mail them a bottle of nothing.
So just they got that update. They should have been did this, by the way. They're going to be working on highlighting games that you've 100%ed. Kind of like how PlayStation has a special trophy for platinuming a game, and people call you platinum a game. People know exactly what that means. So if you could come up with a way that really celebrate someone getting that kind of achievement, I think that's good.
Yep.
And then they also, Asha Sharma, the new CEO of Microsoft Gaming, has said she's instituting a dedicated team that's focused on fan feedback and feedback of the Xbox gamer on console for improvements and trying to help people get what they want. People, some of y'all need to pump the brakes. That doesn't mean you're getting exclusives. While Satya Nadella is still CEO of the company, you are likely not getting exclusives again. So just that ship has sailed.
Sailed.
Some of the other things I think people have been asking for, it may take some time to implement those things, but at least we know for certain that they're listening. So, Ramon, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's great. I mean, admittedly, I think of the three platforms that offer like achievement style things, the Xbox One, I don't know, I don't know, it kind of ties with Steam to me. Like, I'm not even sure which one I like less, but the fact that they're adding a new animation is really cool. Like, I like the PlayStation trophies better, but the animation is cool that they're adding a new animation and they're doing all that, and then being able to hide your games. I mean, I guess that's definitely a useful feature for folks who want to play questionable games. But I mean, is there's somebody to play it. We all know
it may not even be that. It could be just Life is Strange. You could be you a heavy Call of Duty head. You heavy.
That's true. That's true.
In 2K and Madden and all your boys and all that. And then you just enjoy your
this is
alternative
wild,
music.
saying.
Life is Strange, and you just don't want people laughing at you because you on episode 3 and you trying to find out what happens to Max next. Like, it is what it is. You want to hide
true.
that? You can hide that.
True.
Oh wow!
No, I think it's a cool thing though. It's nice that they're actually like putting in some effort and focusing on things other than Forza Horizon 5. So I think it's cool, and hopefully they keep up with this. Asha so far seems like, I mean, obviously it's still early days, but it seems like she's really trying to do the things that she said she wants to do, and working on making improvements. Now, whether this is residual from the past regime or it's an initiative that she kicked off, I don't know, but I think it's pretty cool though.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think some of the things. This is one of those things where, Asha just took over. So a lot of the things, like when people were impressed with what Helix, was shown to have coming down the pipeline at GDC, or or maybe you weren't impressed. Who knows? That's more along the lines of what Sarah Bond and Phil Spencer were working on. Like she
Yeah, they even
couldn't,
spoke on it.
come in 5 minutes for 5 minutes, and now she got a new console coming out. Like that's not realistic. Like this clearly is work that previous regime have been working on, and so if you're impressed by that, you have to give the respect to the people who put that work in. That said, these are the kind of things that she can make an immediate impact on. Putting a team together, having that team go through and look at the things that fans say they want, and you get enough people saying they want those things, you see how you can implement those things or delegate it to a team that can implement those things. I think that's smart, especially when you're trying to cultivate a brand that has been on the downswing and you're trying to bring them back. Like, a good way of doing that is providing incentives to your base to continue to keep playing in your playground, and doing things like, hey, look, people for years been asking for better achievements. For years, people have been asking for that. And it was always, yeah. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna get you your achievements. And then nothing ever happens. And so, the fact that they made announcements with details of what they're working on, and I think it's in the insider program already. So if you're an Xbox insider, you probably already have access to this. But it's good, man. It's good to have. Anything else you want to say on this before we get back to the main topic?
I'm good.
Cool. So, yeah, Ramon, I'll start with you first. Xbox Showcase and Gears E Day. First, what do you expect to see from the Xbox Showcase?
Um, Possibly some more Helix news since it's their showcase. Although they did show it during the Game Awards, they showed the Series X. So I mean, it's a coin toss. But I would think maybe we'll see some more details on Helix. I think maybe we'll get one last in-depth look at what do you call it? Fable. Um, what was that? There's something else they got in the pipeline. I can't remember what it is. Oh, um, I'm kind
Clockwork
of 50.
Revolution?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm 50-50 on Clockwork Revolution, but I feel like we may see that, and if we do, we'll get a date.
Mm.
And there's one other thing they have. I mean, combat. What is it? Campaign evolved. I
Halo
mean,
campaign evolved, yeah.
yeah. I mean, well, rumor has it that's coming out in it's July. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure if that happens to be the case, then well, either way, I think we're going to see that. And
Mm-hmm.
then there's and Blade. There's been talk about Blade, and Blade has been being worked on silently for a while. I'm curious to see if when they show Blade, any of the dialogue that I've seen will actually be in it. So that'll be fun to watch. Less fun because I didn't get cast, but whatever.
Hey,
But yeah, I think we'll see that.
some things aren't meant to be, man. But it's we keep grinding. No
Yeah,
worries.
keep grinding. But yeah, I think we'll see. I think those are some of the things that we're gonna see. And then maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll get like a new announcement of something new they're working on. But that I can foresee, that's that's about where I'm at.
All right, now about Gears E Day. Have you played the Gears games, the previous ones?
So I only played the first Gears when the one that released last summer. I actually played it with E
Reloaded. Gears of
Reloaded.
War
Yeah, I
Reloaded.
played.
Okay.
Yeah, so I played that with Eric Jackson. Shout out to E. We played it together, and it was fun. It was fun. Like it was obviously it's a product of its time, but it was fun. I will say though that I'm not sure how much I'm looking forward to it. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I hear Gears 2 was like the crown jewel of the series.
Gears
So
2 was
maybe
fantastic.
so maybe if I played part 2, I'd be a little bit more be looking forward to a little bit more E Day. I mean, you know, maybe if I actually see some gameplay and everything, and if it blows me away, then maybe I'll be looking forward to it more. But Gears doesn't really move me, but I'm definitely open minded to see what it looks like. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that.
Cool. Forte. What do
Yes.
you? I remember you saying you expect to see PlayStation logos at the showcase. Outside the PlayStation logos, what other things do you expect to see there?
I expect to see PlayStation 5 Pro logos.
Oh man,
And that is going to be so dirty if they do.
man continues the messy.
Got
Oh,
PlayStation
man.
5 Pro logos and
Best way to
no,
play.
that's supposed to play PlayStation 5 Pro. Oh no, okay. Let me. Well, we are going to see PlayStation 5 logos. If we can see logos for PlayStation 5 during a partner showcase, we are definitely going to see them at the
That
Xbox
blew my
showcase.
mind when I saw
I
that.
was like, what are we doing? Wait, there's no tangible. There's no tangible reason for you to like showcase their games and put their logo at the end because it's not like you're getting any money off that. Oh, okay,
Well,
whatever.
they probably recorded that before Asha though, so maybe Asha will step in for the showcase and be like, "Yeah, no logos."
No
So you
logos.
never
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But
Maybe she'll hear
is
it. Maybe
going,
she
yeah,
hears it.
she is going console first. She said Xbox console first, so
Hmm.
there's a possibility that she'll go ahead and wipe that.
Well, they got to find a way to save this sinking ship because a lot of people ain't coming back. But
Exactly.
a lot of people ain't coming back, bro. Like I
If I was
sold my ex.
console only, I would still not be coming back.
I'm not coming back, bro. I all their games are available for me to play on PC. Thank for God. But I think I mean we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see almost everything. Honestly, I forgot about Blade. I forgot that was even a thing. Um, but we're gonna see Clockwork Revolution, which I'm really, really super excited, especially at seeing that deep dive they did not too long ago. That got me really, really excited to play that or see more of it. I am very excited to see, when Fable is gonna actually come out because there is a lot of rumors, speculation that is just going to probably get pushed into 2027, which is going to be like their January, February title. Which would be fine. I don't mind that. That gave me a chance to get Grand Theft Auto completely out of my system. But definitely know we're going to see something like that. State of Decay, I think we're going to see a lot of that because I do think that I think that game is primed for more information and stuff, even though they just showed a little bit. They showed a little teaser, little
Forgot
interview
about
trailer
that.
that they did. I think we're gonna see a really good deep on that. Probably like I would be surprised. For some reason, I think that's the game that they're gonna spend the longest time on outside of the Gears after the show, because they always have that one game that they like, why did you spend 11 minutes on this game? I think that game's going to be it because I think that game it means more to them because it means monthly active users, especially the type of game that it is, and it's going to be like one of those ongoing games. And I think that is going to be something they're really going to be talking about with the systems and everything, and the things when it comes to the rivalries, and not just the zombies, but human crime and everything going against that. I think we're gonna get all of that because he kind of hint at all that in that trailer or in that Vidoc that they showed. I think that was gonna probably have the longest showtime on screen when it comes to like just talking about that game. But then outside of that, I just think that Halo Combat Evolved, that game is not for us. That game is for PlayStation. That's the game that's going to definitely show a logo on it because they ain't making that game for us. We already played that game. That game is something we experienced already. We're going to get a chance to play it in, a new shiny toy, which is great. But that game is basically to get people back into, well, not even back in, get people, familiar with the Halo franchise. And some of the most iconic parts of it. My biggest thing is I just want to see the silent cartographer again. I want to ride on the beach and do the beach landing one more because that's like my favorite part of that whole entire game. I love it. I want to beat the game and have Sergeant Johnston say, "Hold me, baby," because I want to beat it in Legendary.
I want to experience the first time you see the flood again.
I do. When you pick up the glasses,
the entire mission is so creepy. It's a helmet.
The helmet.
I would like to experience it without experiencing the flood.
What? Did that flood actually scared you that much, bro? I ain't gonna lie, the flood was spooky.
It was extremely well done. It was because at the time you had no idea what to expect. And you've been fighting the Covenant this entire time, and something ripped through all of them, and you're just like, "What the heck is going on here?" As you're getting deeper and deeper into the facility, and then you're looking for your team, and you find them, the remnants of them. And for those who haven't played it, I'm not going to spoil it, but I actually kind of did already talked about the flood. But still, I want to see that at a higher visual fidelity, like that. The game looks good. Hopefully it plays good. We want to see Halo Studios really nail this remaster, and I think what's probably even more important to see is these new missions that take place before the campaign starts, and in the chronological sense, and how those work out. And how well they're done, because then that can kind of help inform us what to expect from Halo Studios in the future. Potentially.
That'll be interesting.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
That'll be really interesting. Man, speaking of sorry.
I was going to Forte. Did you speak on E-Day?
No, I didn't. No, E-Day, and I was going to say something about E-Day too. Remember, we were just talking about. Remember, I believe it was Gears. Was it Gears 3? No, or was it Gears 1? Remember when you were going through the first time, you were going through like the Hive facility, and it was like all the different, like the walls. It was like I felt like I was in an alien movie, and I was like, yo, this is creepy as heck. That's the one thing I am looking so forward to with E-Day is for them to bring like that suspense back to Gears, because I remember playing the first Gears and like being completely freaked out at certain parts of it, and getting a chance to experience that again. General Ram was one of my favorites. That fight him on that train, that dude got on my nerves. But I'm really looking forward to that, and I think they're gonna once again PlayStation logo. Will it be day and date? Probably not, but it will have a PlayStation logo on. Like, that's a whole other thing. If it does have a PlayStation logo and it's not day and date, then why have a PlayStation logo? You ever think about that?
Well, didn't they have a PlayStation logo for Forza?
They did. They did.
Yeah, it is not. They also said
it's not day and date
coming
either.
out later. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm fine with that as long you be transparent, because if you want, okay, so people want exclusives to come back. You know, because even though they tried to fight, they tried to fight that Phil Spencer fight with the
Tried to
whole
pretend.
hey everyone should have our games nonsense. Like
Yeah,
that's
that was
They
nonsense.
really
You
feel
have a
that way.
platform to sell.
no. They
You
was
you
crying. They was
sell
crying as they typed that.
platforms. You sell platforms with exclusive content, not features. You can't sell platforms with features if they don't experience the features. Like you can't sell me on, hey, look, quick resume is amazing. Is it? Okay, I don't care. I don't have the hardware. So I can't experience quick resume when you can't tell me that's great without me experiencing it, you know? So
Right.
when you can't say, hey, look, the UI is amazing. Who cares? That's not why I have a video game console. I have a video game console for games. And if you got the same games as PlayStation and Nintendo, but they got more games than you and games you'll never get, guess what I'm going to buy? I'm going to buy something else that you don't have because you don't have enough content. You're Tubi.
Tubi.
Not Tubi.
I subscribe to Netflix. I subscribe to HBO Max. I subscribe to Prime Video. I don't subscribe to Tubi because everything that also on Tubi is something I've seen before or I don't want to see.
Damn.
When Tubi make their own shows that are fire, they're on the level of a Game of Thrones, on the level of Stranger Things before the last season, when it's on the level of that kind of stuff,
You wildin'.
then
That's crazy.
I'll get Tubi. But until then, Tubi can kiss my behind. I don't even know if Tubi is paid or not, because I'm not subscribing to watch Good Times. I watched Good Times 30 years ago. I don't need to watch that no more, yo. I'm not subscribing to watch The Best Man. I got that on DVD.
Oh man, what you making fun
Taz
of the
says,
best man?
isn't Tubi free? It probably is free. And you want to know why it's free, Taz? Because they can't charge for that. Charge for what?
SloMo, it sounds like you're saying Xbox is the Tubi of gaming.
It's the Tubi of gaming. That's what I was about to say.
I'm not saying it's
Are you about to say am I wrong? Is that what you were about to say? Am I wrong?
I'm not saying it's the Tubi of gaming.
We're joking for all the Xbox fans. We're joking. We're just playing.
I don't want to lose my whole entire show.
What I am
just
saying
We're just playing.
is that I'm using just a parallel. When you gotta have the content to get people to come to the show. You gotta have the content. I'll use sports. Why is the NFL dominating everything? It's the product. It's the content. People don't want to miss a NFL football game.
I don't.
People don't pay attention to the NBA until the playoffs. 82 game season, no one cares until the playoffs. It's just.
Well, look at cars. Look at cars. I remember when I was way back when I was looking at cars and I was looking at Nissan, Toyota, and Honda, or Nissan, Toyota, Honda, and Acura. And the Acura Integra had the VTEC technology. I was like, oh man, VTEC. And when dude explained what it was, guess what was the selling point suddenly in favor of Acura? VTEC. Because none of the other manufacturers had an answer for that at that time. And this was back during the Fast and the Furious days where we bought imports and souped them up and everything for racing on the freeway illegally. But again, that was an exclusive feature.
Mitsubishi
that was an exclusive feature.
Lancer. Love that car.
Oh man, well yeah, those came like later though, right?
Well, I know those are way later, but
yeah,
Lancers, Evos. I remember when I wanted one of those cars.
And guess what the Lancer had? It had all-wheel drive.
All-wheel drive, and that's the main reason I was like, "Whoo, I could drive that in Michigan."
And guess what didn't have that? The Integra, the Nissan Sentra,
the R-Type, the Nissan R-Type. None of those had that.
Exactly. Yeah. It was a feature that they had that those other cars didn't have. And if that was important to you, guess what you bought?
An Evo.
Yeah.
Or a Subaru.
Yeah.
to get back to what I was talking about,
Double XR. Let's
exclusives,
go.
exclusives. You're
Exclusives.
not like as long as Satya
Exclusive.
Nadella is CEO, you're not getting exclusive games anymore. It's not exclusive games the way you used to have them. But
So what
I
is
think there may be some middle ground there, and I think the middle ground would have to be that you make your platform a timed exclusive platform. Now, not with PC, because you want those sales on PC for certain, especially on Steam. But on consoles, you like Fable, for example. You would have Fable launch, and let's say Fable's launching in September. Give it a 6-month runway before it comes to PlayStation. So it will come to PlayStation February 2027. If it's a game that's that good, people will say, hey, look, I think I might go ahead and get an Xbox to play this first. But if they say, I'm not that excited for the game, I'll wait for that to come to PlayStation. Hey, they're still getting money from you regardless. That's going to be, I think, the middle ground that they can somehow figure out to get Satya on board with, instead of just straight up, hey, it's on PlayStation if it's capable on Switch 2 at launch. Because it's just killing your hardware. It's killing your ability to market your hardware. I mean,
their hardware's dead.
Helix, yeah, the Xbox Series is dead, but the thing is that Helix is coming, and do you want Helix to be dead? Look, the Xbox ROG Ally went on sale at a time period.
Oh, it did terrible.
Where, yeah, that thing sold horribly. At a time period where technology keeps going up.
Mm-hmm.
This device went on sale for $100. How?
Wait,
$100.
What do you mean
$100?
Wait. $100 off.
Okay.
Hold up.
I was getting ready to say, man.
I'll buy one.
Can you give me 5 of them? Can you give me 5 of them?
Yeah, I was about to go out and grab one.
$100. I'll find a use for it.
I'd have bought 5 of them and sold
all of them.
Exactly.
So what I'm saying is that it retailed for $5.99. It went on sale for like $4.99. And when things like that happen, that's because people got excess inventory they're trying to get rid of. And instead of things going up like everything else seems to go up, these devices are coming down. Now the Ally X isn't on sale, but the point is that like that device is really kind of no different than any other Windows PC handheld. They could have tried to lock down some of the newer UI features and the full screen experience, which is now being rebranded to Xbox mode on Windows. They could have locked that down to that device, but that's not how they roll. Every Windows PC handheld device is getting all those updates too. So again, what's the point of this device outside of potentially being more powerful than something else? At this point right now, with that sale, that made the Xbox ROG Ally cheaper than a Steam Deck OLED.
That's crazy.
And the Steam Deck OLED's old. But it carries its value. That thing, check Steam's website. Sorry, Valve's website, app, Steam. Routinely, the different SKUs for Steam Deck keep being sold out. It's been like that well before the shortage too, by the way. So it's just, you gotta have content, and I think for them to have a happy middle ground and that may potentially give some value to the hardware, being able to say, look, I can play this game first here. It's everything timed exclusive on console for the content that we make. That's the best you're going to get. Now,
I feel like that ship sailed already, bro.
I mean, probably, but like, I'm just trying to give some hope to the hopeless.
That's hopeless.
So,
bro.
now what I expect to see at the showcase, I expect to see this is kind of something that has been talked about a few times, but not to any great degree. I expect to see the next Wolfenstein there.
Oh yeah, I
And
didn't think about that. Yeah,
not
that's a good one.
necessarily like full blown, it's in your face and it's coming out in 3 months kind of deal, but like just like the official announcement that's in development. You know, if people in the know it's in development, but to really see it, you know, really see and maybe get an idea of where the story's going, that kind of deal. I think that would be there. I do think we'll see Clockwork Revolution, like
Mhm.
act like more gameplay, a little bit more fleshed out, get a release date for that. I actually kind of feel like Fable is going to get delayed.
It is to February.
Yeah. So I feel like because it's going to get delayed, that they may not talk about it.
Oh,
There. At the most, maybe a release date, a solid release date for early 2027, and just like another kind of trailer to kind of show how beautiful the game looks and stuff.
they should
I
go over the
also kind of
character
feel
creator.
like I also feel like they're gonna have. So I heard some rumblings of there is a kind of sort of like a quick resume kind of mode, but for PC. And it's kind of like hibernate on PC, where you can hibernate a particular application, executable game, whatever, but only really one at a time. It's like it works on the PC handhelds. I think they'll roll that out to full fledged PC soon. Maybe they'll make that announcement at the showcase. I think. Nah, I think that's about it. Everything else becomes just a little too like pie in the sky kind of stuff. But
We like pie.
pie's delicious.
It is.
With Gears E Day, they're kind of in an interesting spot. I like from a story narrative, and I'm about to show show off my nerdness here. I've read all the Gears books.
I haven't done that.
I've played through the trilogy at least 5 times on the hardest difficulty.
Woo.
I have played 4 and beat it and didn't care too much about it, and I played 5 and liked it slightly more. I've played all the Gears games.
Let's go.
So story wise, the time period this takes place at, I'm hyped for that. I can't wait to, even though I already have the cliff notes of like exactly what happens. You just kind of want to see it play out, and so I'm cool with that.
Yep.
Seeing a young Marcus, and dealing with everything that happens at that time period, I'm all for it.
Right.
I do kind of wonder on a game design level, and I've said this a few times before, and I'll repeat it again. And some people think that the lack of sales of Gears or War Reloaded on PlayStation was just due to it being a poor port or a kind of like a lazy port, as people have said. I don't agree. Um, I think that's kind of like a cop out response that people say just to kind of justify things without actually listening to people who play on PlayStation and why they didn't play it. It's not that. I and sure, there's a strong percentage of PlayStation gamers that used to have an Xbox 360 back in the day, and they played Gears before. But there's also a growing, like the way gaming has grown. There are a ton of gamers who were not even gaming or even capable of gaming when Xbox 360 came out. When you see the top games on PlayStation, they're all live service games or annual release games. The larger audience that they will hope that to pick up this kind of game are people who probably have never played Gears before. And us, people who have played Gears, understand Gears plays very differently than other shooter games. The roadie running, you know, the sliding into cover, you know, slide magnetic into cover kind of stuff, the wall bouncing, you know, a lot of those things are foreign kind of gameplay to people who grew up on Fortnite, Call of Duty, and started playing Apex Legends and other games like that. Like for them, this isn't their kind of game, and it may not be. It's not as fresh as it was before, and sure, the coalition could be like, well, let's try to modernize this thing. And maybe they
Mm-hmm.
will. They'll modernize some things, or like maybe make some of the kill arenas not so obvious, which was something that a lot of the games did in that generation, where you just walk into a room, you just like, yeah, we about to get into a fight, we're about to get
Mm-hmm.
ambushed. There's just cover and lines everywhere. Like clearly, it's about to be a fight. Maybe not make those things so obvious this time, but it's kind of difficult for them to advance or evolve the gameplay when it takes place chronologically before Gears 1, right? So it's just, I don't know how they straddle that line, but that's probably the one thing that I'm most excited to see is what they do with Gears and and
Mm-hmm.
and what the coalition has planned for it. They're wizards at Unreal Engine, so I don't anticipate a lot of the problems that Unreal Engine tends to have would be their problem with Gears at E-Day. But for me, it's no longer playing it safe. Rod Ferguson, he was there and in charge. Gears 4 and 5, I felt they were way too safe. And I understand the rationale behind it. You want the main Gears community to feel comfortable, to not feel like you abandoned them, to not feel like they're going to pass in the game when you rely on them being there every single time. That said, I say the same thing about Halo. A lot of us Halo heads, me included, we're not the majority no more.
Nope.
So you can't make a game and expect crazy sales when you're targeting a very niche audience at this point. So I kind of wonder when it comes to PlayStation if it will be as big as it is on Xbox. I'm not certain. I would love to see how that turns out though, but I'm not certain that that's going to be the case.
Mm-hmm.
No, but that's it. Anything else you guys want to say before we get up out of here?
Man, that was a great speech you had there.
Yeah, I mean, you said all that needs to be said. I mean, I wish them the best of luck with it. Hopefully, it turns out good. It'd be nice to see Gears make a comeback.
Yep, with a
I would
PlayStation logo on it.
I would love for Gears to make it go. Hey, look, if people gravitate to that kind of like multiplayer, like they love the campaign, they jump into multiplayer, it gets a second life of being in the limelight as a main gameplay kind of game that people are always playing. It becomes a part of that pantheon, the big live service games that are always played by everyone and take up more than half the revenue of these platforms. I would be overjoyed because I love me some Gears, but I just don't see it. Like Forte, you remember when we had Struggle Gamers on
Mm-hmm.
years ago?
Yeah, I do.
Struggle's a young kid. We older guys, right? We unks to him, and we were talking about Halo, and it was kind of a wake up call to me when we were talking about, because we were heavy on Halo. We'd be like, hey, look, man, you been playing Halo Infinite? He's like, nah, not really. I don't play Halo. And I'm like, well,
Mhm.
all right, what Struggle out? Why don't you play Halo? He was like, yeah, that's like the old guys shooter.
Yeah, I know. We said
And
that.
I felt
Like,
I felt
what?
some kind of way about being called
Man, what
the
the
old
hell?
guy. But I had to think about it for a second, and I said, yeah, we talk about, man, when I got Halo 2 with the steel cover from GameStop, I waited in line for that, or I had my little
Mhm.
ticket and I got to skip the line.
I got to skip
Man,
the line.
that was 2003.
Yep,
That was over 20 years ago.
bro. I know.
Things change. And so, like, when we talk about Gears and how well, Gears is amazing. Yeah, because you're 45, bro. And you played it and you love it. But it's far more gamers that are between 16 and 30 who never played a Gears game before, don't understand why all these people got these big heads like this, don't understand how they're roadie running like that. They don't even know what roadie running means. And they don't care.
Didn't.
They just think it's weird. Why? How is this chainsaw on a gun work? That's just stupid. You know, like, and you'd be wanting to slap somebody for saying something like that. But that's how they feel. They don't get it.
They were
the same way
wrong.
the same way you don't get why they play Fortnite every other day.
But what I'm convinced though is, unlike us, I think that as they get older, they're eventually going to come to our games.
Yep, I agree.
Because I remember saying way back when people were like, when, during the Xbox, appealing to the younger gamer, I was saying it and I was saying it and I was saying it. I'm like, kids play what their parents will buy for them, and they also play what their palate is attuned for. Like their palate is tuned for Roblox, with Minecraft, and Fortnite. But eventually, as they get older and they mature, they have their own money, and they want something deeper. They want a Ghost of Yotei. They want a Gears. They want a Fable. They want their palate starts to diversify.
Yeah,
So,
he's right. They want a boring Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West and Call of the
I ain't
Mountain.
said nothing about Horizon. You know what,
You're
Forte?
right. They
I'm gonna find the game that you like, and I'm gonna start trashing it every single time we talk.
They definitely want those boring games with no character.
Forte don't play that no more,
like your
so
hamster wheel that's called Destiny.
Time. Well, he don't play Destiny no more. See what I'm saying? He don't play
because
nothing
it's trash.
You're right. Absolutely, I agree with you 100%.
Look,
you know what's more? You know what's more trash? Marathon with their 8,000 concurrent players less than 2 months after the game come out.
On Steam.
What's a concurrent?
On Steam, to be clear, on Steam. But still, that's terrible.
That's 70% of the market, though. That's 70% of the player base, though.
I wanted to say this real quick, and it's something that I noticed. My daughter is probably my kid. She's the biggest gamer. She's got an Xbox Series S. She's got a Switch Lite, and she plays them pretty heavily. She loves platformers, action adventure games. She plays a lot of stuff, and
she's a gamer.
Lately, she's a gamer, right? I love it. This one time, just real quick, she was at the end of Kirby, the end of the game, and she's like, "Daddy, can you beat this boss for me?" And I said, "No, you got this. I'm not picking up them sticks. You can do it yourself. You made it this far. Go ahead and finish the fight." I literally gave her the Master Chief, the Master Chief line. So she picks up her Switch Lite, and I'm just kind of just like over her shoulder, just like I'm seeing the mistakes that she's making in the boss fight. She's like getting impatient. She's panicking at some points. I'm like,
she's a little slow-mo right now.
Calm down. You got it. Don't panic. You just take your time. And then she did what I used to do all the time when it comes to like Souls games. Get the boss down to almost no health, and you're like, you get real aggressive because you're trying to use like, I'm close.
Yeah, I gotta get this done.
Yeah, and then
you greedy. Yeah, you get greedy.
You get greedy, and then you get got, right? And so I saw that coming, and I said, "Hey, look, back off. You're okay. Take your time. Remember the cadence of his attacks. You got it." So she beat it. She was so excited and happy. I'm proud of her. I'm like, she beat this game all by herself. I love it. Y'all know lately after that, man, we were supposed to play Minecraft Dungeons. We ain't played it yet. She wanted to play some other games. I bought those games. She ain't played them yet. You know what she been doing?
What she been doing?
She's been playing Minecraft with her friends from school.
Yeah.
And now they in Minecraft every damn day.
Mm-hmm. Minecraft.
And I'm just like,
That was a knockout of the park for Microsoft.
You don't want to play nothing else? Nope. They on
Well, that
they
hurts.
on FaceTime. They on FaceTime
About the noise.
on her phone, talking to one another, yelling at all kinds of whatever the heck they doing now. I don't get Minecraft. I don't know what they doing.
He said, I do not
And I
know
just
what
look
they're
at the
doing.
screen and I just see this big blockhead character just running around like with a pickaxe hitting other block. I'm just like, I lost it. I lost her. She's now a part of the Borg. the
So
live
sad.
service
It's
Borg.
so sad. It's so
That's why I
sad.
said-
It's just like
That's why I
She'll
said
come
my-
around. Give her a little more time, man. Give her a little more time.
That's why I
She'll
said
come
my
around.
favorite. That's why I said my favorite part is watching my daughter play Last of Us and beat that on Grounded, and we watched her recently just play Resident Evil Requiem, and I was like, man, this is great.
She's too young. She's too young for that at this point. She's still 10 years old, but like,
It's the same thing when she beat Spider-Man. I remember when Peyton beat Spider-Man 2, I think, because she was that came out in what 2022 2021. When did that come out? Spider-Man 2
2023
it did. Well, I know she
4.
beat 2018, like right when it came out, and I was proud then. She was like, "You gonna watch me play?" Because that's when we was at our old
2023. It was 2023.
It's 2023. So she was 12 then, and then she beat 2018. I think she was 9. And I remember sitting in my room editing a video, and she was playing on the PlayStation behind me. She's like, "Dad, watch me do this. Dad, watch it." I was like, I was so proud. I get it, SloMo. I get it. It's like, and then all of a sudden they just leave you, and you like, what happened?
For Minecraft.
They left you.
I was so focused
when we
on making
played.
sure that she wasn't getting caught up with Roblox, the Predator playground.
Remember
I
when
completely dismissed Minecraft as
Remember
as
when
a
me, you, and
opportunity.
E was playing Minecraft Dungeons with her?
Yeah.
That was great, bro. Because she was on the mic saying this and that, blah blah blah. I was like, oh my god, this is about to be bad.
Yeah, she was carrying E. E died a few times. We had to keep.
And she was picking E up and making E. Was like, man, I feel bad right now. Shout out to E. Minecraft Dungeon was actually a really fun game. I be thinking about going back and replaying it because they did add a lot of stuff to it.
Yeah. I no, I'm just like I'm not be trying to wrap up. I just not feeling good about it. I'll keep trying to.
She's still your baby. Just remember that.
I'm not going to disown her, but I'm just like
still your baby. She ain't left. She's still here.
I need her. I need to find a game that she can gravitate to. That's not, and I do get it, right. It's the multiplayer aspect of it. It's playing with your friends.
And that's important at that end.
She's played Minecraft before and it didn't catch on for her. But
now she got people to play it with.
Exactly. Now it's a thing, and it's mostly because they're playing with in each other's little worlds, and they're having fun doing all kinds of goofy.
Can you imagine if she got into Animal Crossing? Oh my god, be even worse. Be even worse.
Yeah. All right, let's get up out of here. Ramon, thank you for coming through, sir. Let everyone know where they can find you, and yeah.
Fellas, thanks for having me again, as always. And thanks to the chat. And for those who are listening later, you can find me on Blue Sky, Ramon Terrell. And that's about it. Enjoy your games. Have fun. That's what it's about. And have a good night.
Yep. And Forte, what you got going on? What you going to be doing? I don't know, over the next week.
Well, let's see. Tomorrow I work all day. Well, I get off early tomorrow. Saturday I work all day. Sunday finals for band because band season's coming back around. So I got a band competition on Sunday that I'll be at all day. Monday working, Tuesday. Oh my God. I feel like I'm not even going to be home. My Switch has been my best friend. I'll just be playing games on that, honestly. But you know what I'm looking at on the screen right now, Slum? I'm looking at a screenshot of Death Stranding from 8/8/2025 that you made. That's inside of the welcome screen for DPS podcast. Oh, we need to finish that game. We need to finish it this month.
Okay.
We need to finish this game.
I will make the thumbnail this weekend, and
I need you to make the thumbnail. Yeah.
Just tell me what day you want me to schedule it, and we'll get that going, man.
Yeah. We got to get back on that because I've been dodging it for way too long. But that thumbnail made me think about it. I was like, oh man, I need to get back on that game. So we're definitely going to get on that at some point this month. So just be on the lookout for that. But outside of that, man, just enjoy your games, enjoy everything that you're playing, have fun, and we will see you guys next week.
Yep, and as for myself, look, man, I might not go live with anything this week simply because work and the contracting stuff I got going on in the house, and at some point I'll be finally moving my setup back into my office, which hopefully will be done. Like my office will be done, and then I can move literally everything I got, my desk and all this stuff, into the office and out of the other part of my basement before we go live next week. But if not, it'll be coming soon. But we'll see. Maybe I'll go live with something. I keep looking at Resident Evil Requiem, and it's just like it's
should.
It's calling me. It's calling.
You should play it. It's awesome.
We'll see. If that's one game that like I probably can't not play that by myself. I need to be streaming. I need to be streaming to play that.
So you a punk B? You being a punk B? I got
you.
you.
Hey man. Hey, look. Watch your mouth, man. You ain't gotta be all doing all that. It's a little much. Okay. Ain't no punks over here. Okay. I just ain't trying to play that game by myself. That's all. I'm a sociable person. Just want to play with other people. That's all. Anyway, we out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Cool chat that was in the chat. You guys are awesome. And enjoy your games. Enjoy your weekend, man. Peace.
Peace.
Later on.
Later.